Good evening. Good evening. We are live again.
Good evening. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, I'm really good. What about yourself?
Yeah, really good. Well, to be honest, I'm a bit tired. It's Friday. Been a busy week, but I'm not going to miss the Friday night live stream. This is what I live for. This is Paul.
Yeah. Well, it's a short week, isn't it? So this is the second week running for quite a few of us. Not everyone. It'll be a 4-day week, and I can't believe I have to do 5 days next week.
I know, it's going to be a killer. Well, isn't there some sort? I know this is not reefing related, but isn't there some trial going ahead or something to make the week a 4-day week anyway? And we're all hoping that it goes well, so that everybody's week's always 4 days. I think that's how it works.
Oh, really? I know there's quite a few people that are kind of on compressed hours, so they do their 35 hours in a 4-day week. But I suppose it depends on what industry you're in and stuff like that. And some people can do that, and others can't, can they?
I don't know if it'll work in teaching, to be honest. I don't think so.
No.
Parents won't want the kids at home for 3 days. I'll be sending mine anyway.
That is true. That is true.
Get around.
Absolutely. So if anyone wonders where Steve is, Steve is joining us. Just got a message from me. It'll be about 5 minutes. So I don't know if that's a proper 5 minutes or whether that's a long 5 minutes. So
is that the new hashtag instead of where is Ross? It's now where is Steve?
Well, usually he's late, isn't he? But he's late and he's gone AWOL. But he's just said he'll be on in about 5-10 minutes time. So
he'll be getting the bus home from work, so that's why he's late.
Well, he probably stopped off at Manchester Arena and going for the autographs like he usually
does.
Babe.
I think he likes Sugar Babes or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know who's on there, but there's definitely someone on there who want to get an autograph for. But
yeah, definitely.
But there we go. So what we'll do, we'll wait for him. Let's see who's knocking around. Anyone's got any questions? Please put the questions in, and we'll cover them this evening. So who was first? So the zoo is in the house, but I think he's on the road, so he can't put any comments. I've seen that later on in some of the other comments.
That's good. He can still listen in though, can't he? He can keep commenting whilst he's not in a traffic jam.
Unfortunately, tonight he's not in bed looking at the TV at the end of his bed. Like he has been the last couple.
Is he one of them posh ones with a TV bed? Is he?
He certainly has been. Yeah, has been known to do that. Tony was in early doors as usual, but he's going to catch up. He's on nights. So good evening to you, Tony, or good morning or good afternoon, whenever you catch up.
Yeah, all the best, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Techers, good evening to you.
Evening, mate.
Johnny Boy's in. He's lost his new copper band on Wednesday due to the purple tang. Beat it up. Oh.
I know he got in touch with me on Instagram, and he had like the acclamation box and everything. He was doing everything to the textbook. But obviously, at some point, you've got to introduce them, haven't you? I think he even introduced it at night as well, which is like the recommended thing to do, isn't it? When they're all dark, and then put the newest one back, put the newest one in. But mate, my heart bleeds because that's his second. I think that's his second.
Yeah,
I think he had one for a while and he lost it, and this was the new one. And obviously, bloody fish, they just don't get along with each other, do they?
They don't. And then didn't Steve have a purple tang? And that the purple tang, I think that was the one that took about a month to get out. So I don't know if that's just two species or whether purple tangs are known to being quite.
Had one of them little crab lines. I'm sure he had like a little crab line with a bit of bacon on it for about a month, and he was waiting to catch it like that. I'm sure he was.
He was sitting on a stool like that.
I'm sure he was. Sat on the settee with it like this, just teasing it.
Yeah, and the thing's just looking at him thinking, no, I'm not doing that.
No, I can see you on the end of this line.
Speaking of devil, and he will appear.
There he is.
Are they going, chaps?
Yeah, I missed you there for 6 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. You
know what?
5 minutes.
Hey, mate.
You said 5 minutes. And someone said if a busman's 5 minutes is next Tuesday. So you've done a good
well respected. You are, Steve. Well respected in this game.
You know what, mate? Literally got in. What time? About 17 minutes to 8. I got in. So I got in, quick shower, changed into my bedclothes.
I'm gonna say you look fresh. You look ready for it.
Ready for the stream, mate. Ready for the stream. Absolutely won't miss this. If I don't have to miss it, I won't do. You guys, straight in it.
Absolutely.
To be fair, you are very loyal, Steve.
We are. So just looking at John's comments, so he lost his copper band due to his purple tang. And we're just saying you're the one who had the purple tang that took a month to get it out because it was misbehaving. Is that right, Steve? That was a while back, wasn't it? Was it a purple
No,
tank?
it was a brown tank.
Oh, was it?
Brown, the brown, it was the brown tank.
It
Yeah,
started purple.
purple tanks, to be honest. Funny you should say that because I was looking at a purple tank the other day. Actually, I was so close to buying it. And yeah, but it looked it was the smaller one. It was like a baby, and I thought I don't really want one of them. I want a full, enough a full size one because then it can handle its own. You know what I mean in the tank. So, but yeah, they only had the smaller ones. Like literally, like they were so tiny. They were like probably about 2.5 centimeters long. They were only really small.
That is small, isn't
so I was
it?
like, really small, mate. It was a really small one. Yeah. Well, there was a few of them, but I just thought, and for the cost of them, they were still selling for like 100 quid, and it was tiny, mate, for a purple tank.
Really?
So I was like, yeah, and I thought if it gets bullied, that's not going to be good. So I'd rather pay the more money and get a larger one, something that can handle itself.
Yeah.
And yeah. But no, I didn't think it, but that's what I really do like the purple tanks with the yellow tails. They'll just look really nice.
They do look nice. The only thing is, though, I mean, I think I've read somewhere else that they can be bullies, but then tangs in general, as we've talked before, can be. It depends on what you get and when they go in, what they're mixing with, and how if they're juveniles, as they start to reach adulthood, how they then develop. And stuff like that.
It's probably a bit of boredom in an aquarium because they do swim a great distance each day, don't they? In the reef.
Yeah.
But even if you've got an 8-foot tank, you know what I mean? It's not that big for a tank. They swim miles a day, they do.
Yeah, they swim miles, yeah.
So that probably just wears them out. Maybe who was it? Was it on here, I think? Where people said turn your flow up if you've got aggressive.
Yeah, that was Viking
to wear them out.
He was talking about that when the flow, he's got remember, he's got loads of power heads at the back, random flow. I think he's got them at the left-hand side as well. I think he was saying that something happened to the flow in the tank. I can't remember. And he saw the aggressiveness go up.
Yeah.
And of course, as he's increased his flow, and he learned it from fresh water. I can't remember what he was keeping in fresh water. And with that increased flow, whether it wears them out or they're swimming against it, or whatever it is, it tires them out, and also feeding them 6 times a day, which I think he does. So a combination of eating loads so they're not bored and swimming loads keeps the aggression away, which kind of makes sense, doesn't it? If they're not worried, but they're thinking about swimming, not thinking about who you're going to go and pick on next.
Just takes the fire out of them.
Like us having a Sunday, massive Sunday lunch and then going out on a 10-mile run in it. Yeah, what we're gonna do when we come home, we're gonna be absolutely knackered and want to go to bed, mate. You know what I mean? I'm gonna want to fight anyone, are we? That's for sure. So it's a good idea.
You want a bit of telebed action if you do that, don't you? That's the thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Telebed action.
I had to think about what you're thinking then. Like the penny drop, thinking telebed action, and I realised.
Yeah, he's got his electric bed answer that watches telly and all the time.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Hey,
needs
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Right, let's see who else is in the house. Good evening, Howard.
Evening, mate. Good to see you.
There you go.
Evening, my friend.
Hotty's Reef. Good evening to you, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
Trundley's Reef. Good evening.
Evening, Trundley.
Hiya, Darren. Hope you're well.
Evening, Dad.
Skids is in the house. Good evening to you, Skids.
Regulars.
Evening all to UKM 120.
Good to see you, buddy.
Scott is with us. Good evening, Scott.
Good to see you, mate.
There's
a Zoo saying he said hello at the top, Steve, but he's driving tonight, so we won't be very
be safe, mate. Be safe.
Yeah.
Exotic Shark, good evening to you. Chris Allen's in the house. Good evening.
Evening, Chris.
Nice one, Chris.
Stuart Pennell. Good evening, Stuart.
Yeah.
The Southeast Reefer. PJ Goblin. Like to know, PJ, have you got any more SPS recently?
Oh, yes.
Has he got any what?
SPS.
Oh, yeah, after he told him to frag it. That was him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You told him to cut it, and then the week after it died.
It did, yeah.
A little disclaimer at the bottom.
Well,
watch this channel, but don't take any of the advice.
Listen, but don't do.
Yeah, this is how not to read.
Yeah, absolutely. That
Drippy with his blinging. What is it? I don't know. Icon.
Oh, his logo. Yeah, he's got a new logo, hasn't he? That's the new one on Instagram. So it's the Drippy Reef.
Yeah.
What's that?
I really like that logo.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, he's gone all out with that.
I like it.
Can't wait to catch up with you at Love to Reef, mate. I finally got my ticket. I think I was the last one to get one for some reason. I don't know what happened there.
No, Jay. No, Jay.
I had to go knocking on a door in Essex to get mine.
Jay, you had it, but you couldn't find it. I sent it to the same place.
What? Yeah. Serious? You
gets through security, mate. If it gets through security, got to get through security, though, Jay.
I've got 2 now. All right, I'll give one away on this live stream if I've got 2.
You're forever giving away things that's not yours.
Competition. Yeah. I paid for it. I got 2 for 17 quid though, rather than 1. That's good.
2 for 1. I'll tell Jules on the door to watch out.
That's it. In the chat, free ticket for the Love to Reef.
Free ticket.
Got to be available on the 20th of May. I'll meet you at the gates.
Well, you're going to share it by email.
Share it by email, yeah.
Oh dear. Mersey Reef, good evening.
Yeah, mate.
We've got Russell Brooks in the house. John's Reef UK. Reef 216, good evening to you. Sky of the Marine, good evening. NG Reefer.
Nice one, mate.
And then Southeast Reef, already said hello. First Friday live I've been able to make for a long time.
He must be going to Love to Reef, surely, if he's Southeast Reef, he's on the doorstep.
I think so. I'm sure he is actually. I actually know people by their names now, not so much their usernames. So I'm trying to think what username is Southeast Reefer. It all gets
some by their bank account name now. That's it.
Well, no, they take my bank account details.
Oh, really? Oh, PayPal. Surely PayPal.
PayPal or or bank transfer.
Oh,
I take either.
He takes any money. By the way, it's all for charity, so I am actually joking.
Yeah. Well, once I paid for it, Dan's Riggsy 69. Evening, missed the last 2 live streams due to work. Looking forward this all day. Good evening to you.
I missed the last one actually. To be fair.
So you did,
yeah. It's quite good watching on catch up. Though, if you catch up, if you've got a couple of hours, even just to listen to it rather than to watch us, it's far better to hear us than it is to see us.
Well, there definitely is that. I've got to say, when there's things like the BRS TVs, when they do like a 50-minute, whenever there's something that's like 50, 60, 70 minutes, I'll put that on when I'm doing stuff. So it's quite good, isn't it? Then you're listening to what's going on.
Yeah, it is. That is a cool logo there, by the way. The Minions one, that's nice.
Yeah.
Who's the Minions here? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know much about it. Yeah. Just your average sim racer. Evening. Wow. That's a new username. I haven't heard that. So welcome.
Evening. To the group. Welcome to the clan.
Yeah, welcome.
Absolutely.
Howard's saying there about bus drivers 5 minutes, so next Tuesday probably.
Yeah, probably.
No, you've done well.
Train drivers even worse today, aren't they? I bet you've been busy, haven't you, Steve, with the trains off?
Very busy, yeah. And the kids all went back to school, didn't they, this week? So it's been a crazy rush this week. Yeah,
I can imagine. Right, moving on. Good evening, Marek, to you.
Evening.
What else we got?
Loads
10 likes so far. So if you can give a like, that'd be much appreciated. Yeah, I see that. That's good.
10 likes so far.
Woody. So another one who's coming to Love to Reef next week. So I haven't met Woody before, so that'll be good.
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you there. I can't wait for that. Is it next week?
Yes, it's next Saturday. So we won't be live next Friday because Steve's not around and I'm setting up and everything else. So we did want Jay to do it on his own and get some guests.
Yeah, this is your idea of a joke. You all said I'm doing it on my own. There's no chance. Absolutely, I don't even do them anyway. I'm doing it on my own. My head would fall off in no time.
You could do some live fragging, Jay.
Live fragging? No, I did that once and it went wrong, didn't it?
What, with the sour? No, you done all right with the sours, didn't you?
Well, it wasn't the fragging that went wrong. It was the bloody little pico tank. It just it got to the summer months and it boiled like a kettle, didn't it? Just I couldn't keep the temperature.
It was all bubbling.
29 degrees. It was so ridiculous. So would never even attempt to pico because it just gets too hot.
Yeah.
Can't control temperature.
Yeah. Right. That's the end of the chat. And that's a really good segue into the. Thank you. Goodbye. There we go. So we're talking about par reading. I managed to check my par readings on my G5XR 15 Blues. Anybody else disappointed with results from these lights? So they're 7.5 inches from the surface, 300 par at 6 inches down, running at 100%.
300 is like, that's the ideal, really, though. Like most of your top corals, your SPS, are like 300 to 400 max. You don't really need much more than that, to be honest. And then the LPS, they're happy to sit around 150 to 100. You don't. Most corals don't need a lot of light, do they? In terms
and SPS should be all right at 300. I mean, Steve. I mean, you've done. I mean, I've done par readings in this.
Oh, mate.
It's about 300 at the top. I haven't got any SPS. And then where the chalice is there, I think it was 200. And that's probably about as much as I'd want on a chalice, to be honest. And that one's growing absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's growing more and more around the side all the time. And considering that's facing that way, you can see a lot of that there. So, and that's with 200, 300. So I think that's
I would say your chalice is probably getting about 170 there, maybe 170, 180 parts from it.
Yeah, it's about
it's at an angle, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So the top part will get it, but on the sides won't be as much because of the angle that it's that it's at. But it's loving it. I mean, you've done par read. I know you've got a Gen 6, which is slightly different to Gen 5. I don't know how much difference in terms of power there is between the two of them. I don't know if they're souped up more.
It's because of the angle in it, you know, the actual fit, the way the light spreads on a G6. I think that is really the only difference. Like I said, I'm new to the Radion, so it was totally different going from AR, you know, from the hydras to the light. But it was so noticeable the moment I put them on. It was crazy. But going on to PJ's readings there, like mine at 8.5 inches.
Higher, wouldn't you?
Mine,
you would think it'd be a bit higher, though. I'm surprised it is as low as 300.
Well, I run mine. Mine's 8.5 inches from the water surface. My light's at 8.5 inches from the water surface. Yeah, and I've got mine at 40. Sorry, mine are running at about 40. No, about 52%. I think it is now. Yeah, and at the top where my stylopolar is and my thing, it averages about 500 par there. That's crazy.
That's a big difference, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. But you know what though, where it's averaging, those corals are used to it. Those corals have been under that sort of intense lighting, for years now. We're not talking like months or thing. So they've just adapted to the lighting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was watching a program, a thingy with Ryan and the owner of Will White Coral last week. Yeah. It was an hour and a half. Did you see it?
I haven't seen that. The 10 things or something to set up.
Yeah, the 10 things.
It's on my list to watch.
Watch it, mate, because it's really good. And and he was saying about about corals, how great that what we don't speak about is corals and how highly adaptive they are to lighting, because they were saying how like important is lighting. And he said, listen, I set the lights up, I have a rough guide of the part and I leave them. That's it, because you know what, no matter what par you run them at, they will adapt to it over time. And I was like, flipping heck, he's right here, because like you said. But mine, if you say, 500 par under there, people will go, no chance, they can't think. I'll tell you what, I put my par meter under there and it's 500, 450, 500 par. And that's what it's reading at the style polar. And they've just adapted over time. You know what I mean? Whereas like your chalice there is what, maybe 170, 200 max, I'd say, Where that piece of, the piece that you gave me, that's averaging on that rock. That's averaging about 260 par. So it just goes to show how and it's come from the same piece, hasn't it? You know what I mean?
No, that's not a Raja. So that is an avatar.
Avatar, right?
That avatar has come from the other tank where the Raja is. And that sits on the sand bed. I haven't tested your par in there, but I suspect it's probably like 150-ish in the other tank.
Oh, it's on the sand bed, your other one. The
Raja. I usually keep. Wow. I usually keep chalice on the sand bed. I usually find the higher you put them up, the more likely they are to lose coloration. They usually get a deeper color on the sand bed. But again, it depends, doesn't it? It depends on the tank, your flow, and everything else. So,
well, you've seen the picture of mine, and I said, like the growth, and it's getting more and more eyes on it, like by the day, mate. You know what I mean? It's crazy, and like you said, it's definitely 100%. It's a lot higher than 150%.
It's higher than
way higher.
It's about about halfway. About halfway, would you say?
Yes, halfway up the rock. Yes.
So probably 250.
I think it'll be getting about 240, 250. Yeah, that's what it's probably getting around about there. Yeah. So it just goes to show, like you said, on how they adapt. Corals will adapt to lighting over time. It's just like you said. Sometimes some corals will lose color. Some might start to bleed. If you start to see it lose color, then you can change it straight away.
Then you would,
just
if
drop
you
it
think
down.
it's down to that. That's the only difference that you put. But also, if you put a tank, if you put a coral in a new tank, and you put the light too high, that is when it can. But then it can start losing color anyway. Often I've bought a coral from someone else, and it loses a bit of color anyway because it just the whole elements and everything are completely different, aren't they?
The thing is, like on a natural reef, they must like go through phases of coloring up and then losing color because you're going to get cloudy days, you're going to get overcast days.
Exactly.
You're going to have seasons as well on a natural reef, and you're going to have different intensities all the time throughout the year.
Yeah, from winter to summer.
You're going to get that.
Yeah, sorry, I could turn the lights off on this tank for 3 or 4 days, put it back on, and give it 2 or 3 hours. They won't notice any difference. They wouldn't have faded the color, so they can do without light for a period of time. When I used to frag chalice, I always used to put them into the sump, and they'd stay in the sump for 4, 5, 6 days. Only because there wasn't much flow, I found they healed a little better. And they hate being on frag plugs and stuff like that. Because I put them in the normal on the sand bed, they'll get kicked around and they'll get sand on them and it agitates them. But a coral can easily stay in the dark for a few days. It'll be fine. Some obviously longer than others, but it's not an issue to your point.
Personally,
I'm just reading.
I think it's more, in terms of the coloration of the coral. I feel from my limited experiences, it's more to do with your nutrient levels.
Yeah, I agree.
Rather than the light, I think the nutrients have a bigger impact on my color of my corals than my light does. Yeah, as far as I feel.
Yeah, it used to be an issue that you used to have a quality light, but now most of the lights on the market are quality, and you can put most corals under them, whether they be the Red Sea ones or AIs and all of those, and they're quite well tested. You don't have to think, well, do I think that light will actually be okay for the corals? Yeah. Because the technology now, I think you're right, around the flow, which then takes the detritus away and takes the food to it is really, really important. I think, what was it saying? John's saying about that around flow being more important. Certainly on SPS it is. And I find on the other, since I increased the flow on the NEMs, they've grown a lot bigger because it takes the food to them, it takes the crap away from them. So you're cleaning them out all the time, aren't you? So
that guy from Worldwide Corals on that chat, that's exactly what he said. He was saying with lighting, it's like a set it and forget it, Whereas flow, he said, and you've seen in Worldwide Corals, he said to this day, he's never got the right flow in any of his tanks. That's exactly what he said. Those were his words. He says, because you'll never find that perfect flow pattern to make every coral happy in a tank. Whether it's a mixed reef, whether it's you see, like he said, like SPS, you was under, because he said like a lot of people were under the illusion like years ago that SPS required lots of flow. They like that lots of flow to clean them and to get rid of any detritus that could be trapped and stuff like that. He said, but not under his, from when he's been learning, obviously with coral, he said not always the case. Some SPS don't like really high flow. I've got a perfect piece. That piece that I had in mind, which I put on the side rock, I had to move it and move it back to the place it was because it was stripping, and it wasn't stripping because of any nutrients, or it wasn't stripping because it was RTN in. It was stripping because the MP40 was blasting it too much. And
so it just wasn't. Was it getting direct flow, right?
Yeah,
what they're saying is they hate direct flow, but indirect flow you can blast them as much as with that, but it's just a difference about indirect compared to direct.
That's the difference, yeah. Well, I've moved it since I've moved it back to where it came from, right at the back of the tank. Now it started to colour up, and that's literally 4 days ago. 3 or 4 days ago, I thought I'm not letting this die because I've had it for like 2 years or so, and I moved it back, and now it starts to colour up, polyps are out. So it just goes to show that it doesn't like certain colours don't like you said, it direct flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's that.
I thought they could, but they didn't like it.
It is that direct flow. So, like Signature Frags, if you go to his shop, mate, it's like a cauldron on the surface.
Yeah.
He has 3 gyres down either side. So you've got 6 gyres on one tank. They're all shooting at each other, and then at the surface, and then the MP40s at the end, firing it along this way. But mate, the surface is so agitated. It's actually got like standing waves in it.
But he gets a swirl, doesn't he?
He does get like around the top.
Therefore, you get that indirect because of the way it works, because it's going across the surface and then coming back down, and then the MP40s and then breaking up as well. So you got turbulence.
Yeah,
going all
yeah,
over the place.
I've never said that actually, but you do get the little swirls around the corals.
Yeah.
You see them kind of like dropping down. So
Mad,
yeah,
innit?
like you
Like you
see,
said, it's different, isn't it? You know, like you said, it's different for different different species of tank, isn't it? And you know, stuff like that. If you've got, like you said, that would be perfect for an all SPS, yeah. But if you've got a mixed reef and you've got soft corals and you've got LPS, yeah, they sometimes they don't like really high intense flow like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes they do. You know what I mean? Like we was talking about your corals the other week when you was on Jay, and we were saying like your torches and your Gonioporas, how much they get battered like with things, yeah. Whereas some people say my Gonioporas don't like high flow. You know what I mean? Certain people say, "Oh no, my Gonioporas curl up if it has too much high flow." So it is weird how different corals react to different flow patterns. You know what I mean? In an aquarium, yeah, it's just they just adapt to it, mate. Just like lighting, they adapt to the light. You know what I mean? Over time.
Yeah, you're right.
It makes perfect. Mate. Yeah, like I've got the bubble coral, and if you put too much flow on that, the bubbles burst. So quite clearly, that needs a lot less flow on them. So you do need to know to a certain extent what kind of flow they like, because some of them get too much flow, they just retract, and then they won't come out at all. So it's kind of on some of them it is a case of just trial and error, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you've got it right. I think you've got it right on that chalice, Steve. Your rainbow chalice, mate.
I know.
It's hit a new level, that has, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
It has, mate. You know what? I absolutely, honest to God, like what I do, I don't know if you do it, Jay. Yeah, but every so often, maybe every like say 2 months, I turn it. Yeah, I turn it only a quarter of a turn. Yeah, just so like you know, like the different colours like come out, because I do find that like. I've got some green in my coral, don't get me wrong, yeah, but I had more green in it. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, as that green disappeared under like certain light, you know, like when it was round, like say the backside of it, yeah. Now I turned it round to the front, you start to see more different colours coming out. So I've been doing it a while actually, but every month or so, just turn it a quarter of a turn.
I haven't done that with mine, to be fair. I need to
just turn it a quarter of a turn, mate. And it gets the different light, yeah. You know what I mean? And it's definitely come on, mate.
Yours
and
looks better. Now, I mean, it was hard to do it, but yours looks better than when you bought it from the shop, and it looked damn good when you bought it. But now you've got more of a mix of throughout it, haven't you? The different colours.
And the colours going in between.
Do you find the greens?
Yeah, the colours. Yeah, the green. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had more green on mine because there was green on both sides. Whereas now there's only green on one side, you know what I mean? So I'm like, well, where's that green gone? So I don't know whether like maybe whether the color of the polyps yet, whether there's more of a stronger color. And now we all know like the reds and stuff, like say red Montiporas, they tend to take over. You know, like when grafted.
Yeah, my red's dominant in mine.
They seem to be like the more dominant. You know, like in the color species. Yeah, that's why more often than not you'll see a bit of green in a grafted monitor, but you'll see the majority of it will be reds and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, is that the same with chalices? Is there more like of a dominant color in especially rainbow chalice? Yeah,
it probably depends on what one you get, because the one of the other ones I've got, it was red. It's now gone virtually all orange, and it's got the colours have got a lot lighter. And it must be to do with whether it's to do with nutrients, but that's what I like about them, because in 6 months' time, it could look the colour.
It could change.
Could look completely different. And I've gone with the rainbow. Sometimes it's gone down to 3 colours, and all of a sudden it's gone up to 5 or 6, and it's had a little bit of pinks, and it's just that's what I love about it. I don't worry about it, because I just know over the years it'll just go all over the shop. But I don't think any other coral does that. Not to that extent.
Not change like that.
I don't think so.
With the patterns.
No, I don't think so.
You know when you got yours and you put it on those 4 frag plugs, and you said at some point I'm gonna like break them off because that's the plan. And then I heard on your last video you're like, oh, no one's gonna go near this. So you're not gonna break it up and like win the Euro Millions with it.
You know, no, you know, like funny you should say that, because my missus was saying about it, and like now it's completely starting to spread. You know, like over those flag plugs,
But I know, it's ready to break.
But you know what? No, I don't think. It's one of those colours. I don't think that I could break. It'll break me out if I had to like cut it, and I don't think it's going to be one of those ones where I don't think I'm ever going to frag. I just don't know, mate. I don't never say never,
I know, because that was your plan. You did it all so you could.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just like seeing, you know, the way it's growing, and I'm loving like the colours, like you said, and I'm just loving it. Yeah, and I'm enjoying it. It's one of those corals, yeah, that I never thought I knew I love it. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's definitely one of my best corals in my tank for sure. Yeah, but I didn't realise how nice as it's grown. Yeah, how much like you fall in love with a coral. Yeah, like I love you Phillies, as you know. Yeah, I'm a bubble coral, but this one, it's just like because they're not fast growing anyway, but every like say month or two or something, you see it, and you might see like I took a photo, you see like a new bit of growth coming up, and you're like, I don't think I could ever frag it, mate. So it's like, but never say never, mate. You never say never. The amount of people that have said, "Can I have a piece of that?" Especially for your frag swap. For your frag swap, you know what I mean? I went, no.
Hey, no can you imagine who's going to just swap that for free? Jesus, it's such a collectible, isn't it?
What would you want in return for a piece of rainbow chalice? It'd have to be a very rare SPS or a Zoa that's mega expensive. But then by the time you get home, you've just got a frag plug because where's the Zoa gone? It's melted. Someone's got a chalice which are really hardy, and you pick up a Zoa, you looked at it the wrong way, or you go boo, and all of a sudden it's gone.
That's it, yeah. You're in bits like a strawberry shortcake. They're like that. Does your chalice go really soft around the edge? Because mine looks like a curtain.
They start moving. Some of them, they're like a wave. Yeah. And they actually move in the flow, don't they?
Yeah, they're like bottoms of a curtain, aren't they? Around the bottom, around the edge.
Yeah.
And then when you pick them up, they feel like solid, stone basically, don't they? But
they're just like they're like a crust. That's why I cut them with scissors, because they're so thin. Yeah, and it's the easiest way to do it. Because if you use cutters, you can crush it.
Scissors
out. You know what? I'm having sweats of you just saying that, mate. I'm having sweats already. I can't go with that, mate.
He'll cut it with a pair of scissors. He's got some toenail ones.
Thanks for that.
You know, if I was to ever frag that, mate, if I was to ever frag that. If I was to ever frag that thing, I think I'd have to buy one of those bloody machines, mate. I don't think I could do it. But
where it's soft, you don't need on a soft one like that. You don't need one of those blades. A pair of sharp scissors, because it's a really thin crust.
I know. Oh, mate, no. Oh, God. Okay. You know what? No.
You just need a pair of balls, that's all you need. I'm not quitting mine.
I haven't got a pair of them, Jay. Bollocks to that, mate.
I'm not quitting mine. No chance.
No way. Yeah. But like my missus says, you know, like I've got more and more. I bought some more tiles. Yeah. And like now, all I have to do is just like keep sticking the tiles, you know, underneath it. Yeah. So what it'll go like a mountain. You know, like it'll go like a little shape of a mountain. Yeah. But then like she says, once they've covered them, all you have to do then is just break those frag plugs off then, and they've already been covered, haven't they? So they're already covered, and then all you do is stick more frag plugs and then let them grow over that. Do you know what I mean? There's no hardship done. So I thought maybe that could be the only chance that, but it'll be to like 4 lucky people who'll have a piece of it where I'd grow it, and that'll be it, mate. I don't think I could frag it down again. It'll be a one-off, 4 pieces.
But it's getting.
That'll be it.
You'll be in your family forever, won't it? That now. Because it's just getting so big that you can't sell it anyway because it'll be so expensive.
So you see people sell pieces that are 600-700 quid and they're slightly bigger pieces. They don't go because if you're going to buy it, you buy a piece that's like 200-300 quid. That's a lot smaller. The problem is when you see them for sale, you've got to judge how big they are because quite often they're smaller than your little finger, and you only can judge it. Is that a big frag plug or a small one? Usually it's a small one. Then you can tell it's not even half the size of a frag.
Well, jelly beans.
I've seen some. Yeah, I've seen some. I don't know where I've seen them. The jelly bean, yeah, and it looked absolutely massive on a screen, yeah. But basically, what they were on those 12mm.
The standard ones,
tiles,
small ones.
You know the normal standard ones, yeah. And it was half the size of that. So it must have been like a little tiny, like freaking 6 or 8mm piece, mate. And it was going for 300 quid.
That's a lot.
I'm like, holy moly! Like we got a good bargain for ours, Jay, if that was the case, because ours was pretty decent. To be fair, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
He did say to me, he said, "Don't cut it." He did say to me when I bought it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ours was a good size.
Yeah. There's a question here about fistful of dollars chalice. What par in the flow? I'd say par about 150, 200. You could go as high as yours, Steve, but I think if you go 150, 200, you won't go wrong.
Well, I've got the fistful of dollars in my tank. Yeah, it's on that plate. It's on the the green plate just at the side of the bubble coral. Have a look at it. That's a fistful of dollars there, yeah.
Well,
And down there on that thing, it's about 1.8. It's about 170, 180 down there on near enough my sandbed. So yeah,
I've never seen it. The bubble coral must be blocking it.
Must be.
Oh, of course you've seen it. Of course you've seen it. Yeah,
you've definitely seen it.
And what kind of flow, Steve? Because on my challenge, I just get it so you just get a bit of movement across the top. So if sand goes on it, sand would blow off of it. That's the kind of
because it's raised up off the sand bed and it's on the actual. It's on because I turned the green plate because it was growing crazy. I basically turned that into a ledge, like a lip. I turned it into a piece of rock and then I put place corals on top of it. And it just gets enough flow, like you said. When you watch my channel and you see the way the flow of the torch corals, that's the amount of coral flow that it's getting. It's not getting heavy flow. It's just getting enough to clean it, like you said. Just to get if there's any bit of sand, because sometimes the fish go down. I don't know about your clownfish, but does your clownfish ever go down, pick sand up in its mouth, and then swim off and let go of it? I don't know what it's doing there. No. It goes down on the sandbed, yeah.
Right.
They pick something up with the sand in the mouth. So I don't know whether they're getting uneaten food or what. I don't know, but I've noticed it the past week or two.
Really?
Comes down, yeah. Gets some sand or big chunks of rock, goes to swim up and drops it. And I'm like, what's it doing there? But since I've removed fish from the tank, yeah, my clownfish used to lay eggs all the time. I'm going to say lay eggs. They used to lay them all the time. So they'd hatch, and literally 2 days later, they would lay more eggs. They've gone back to that. So I'm thinking, is it like some sort of mothering, thing, like mating thing, where they try to clear a thing to lay eggs or something? I don't know, mate. But it's only been the past 2 weeks or so. I'm like, what in the hell? What's going on? Well, I've never seen that. So now some of my corals, I came down the other day and my bloody Scully had a great big rock in it, right in its mouth, right in the centre of his mouth. I'm like, oh man, what's happened there? And it was the clownfish, mate. Clownfish are dropping rocks. Yeah, they're picking up and dropping them. I don't know what they're doing.
Mine does the tail batting and then to get the sand.
Yeah.
Mine does that, but it doesn't pick them up in its mouth. No.
Often they do that to clear rocks or clear space to lay eggs, don't they? That's what the behaviour
I've never seen it,
I've seen, but not when they're not acting like a goby. When they're basically taking the sand and spitting it out and filtering it.
I've never seen that.
No.
That is exactly what they do. You know what? Every time I try to film it, when I'm here and I see it, I try to film it, they stop it. And I'm like, you little bleeders. They just go off and go back to the eggs. But yeah, it's weird. I've never seen that before. But yeah, it's I don't know whether it's because they're getting back into the laying eggs business, do you know what I mean? But it's a strange one for sure.
Wait, so have you still got all your fingers, I notice? Have you still got with the with the lionfish?
Oh yes. Hey, you know what? He's a model citizen, that guy, mate.
He's a model citizen. You
never see it, mate.
I'm gonna play this back.
Yeah, it might come back to haunt me, but you know what? Honestly, God, he seems okay, to be honest.
Have you not had your hand in the tank and he's gone for it yet? No.
Yeah, I've had my hand in. Well, not had my hand in the tank. I've had the tweezers in the tank, but yeah, feeding him. He tends to like the old nice fresh. Well, I say fresh, like frozen prawns. The big prawns, king prawns. Yeah, but I cut it up in little chunks, about maybe an inch big or something. Yeah, and he's just about squeeze that in his mouth, mate. So yeah. He won't eat anything. Yeah, and he comes.
You said he don't come out though. What's the point of having a fish that you don't see during the day? What's that all about?
Oh, exactly. Well. To be honest, when
none of them come out.
When I reviewed it, they do say that they do come out. They're just a bit, a bit like timid and stuff like that. Mine still hasn't come out. But when I've gone online, watched it on YouTube and stuff. During the day, mate, when the blue lights on, certain people's tanks did out in the middle of the thing, just hovering, just swimming about. So it's weird. So it is. They do definitely come out during the day, but I think it's just timid. Yeah, you know what I mean, and stuff. And I think he's a bit scared of the clownfish. Yeah. Those clownfish are like Ronnie and Reggie Cray, mate. They just are evil. Honestly, God, they don't care, mate. They just come out and they have a go at anything. Anything that goes in the tank is like. Let's bully him a bit.
Whatever you put in there, they've survived, haven't they? So they are the best. They're the boss, aren't they?
they're the main ones for sure. But yeah, so far so good, mate. He seems to be okay. To be honest, and no issues. I've had no issues with him.
Yeah, hopefully it starts to come out because obviously you've spent a bit of money on it.
Yeah, it's a lovely fish you want to watch, isn't it?
Yeah,
you
want to see it,
absolutely, mate.
Don't you?
And you know what? When the ironic thing with them, is like they look as if like they're scanning you out. You know, when they see you with the big eyes, and they look as if like they're sussing you out. They're weird looking, but they're mysterious in a way as well. I'm like, I'm fascinated, you know, with the way they are and all that, because they just go around the rock and like he does come out when the lights are just starting to go out. Then he starts to come out. You see him start to come out. Then but I've been adding a load of you know, the what's it called? The river shrimps. You know, the river shrimps.
Yeah.
I must have added about maybe 100 of them or something. You know, over this past like 2 weeks or so. Must have had about 100 river shrimp in there. So there's probably loads of them still in there, unless the other fish have had them, like the clownfish. There's probably he's probably going around hunting them. You know, at night time. They'll come out, won't they?
Don't they just die because of fresh water? No.
No, I think they live, mate.
The river shrimp, surely they can't survive in salt water like that.
I don't know. Never really thought of it. Well, they swim around in there. Let's put it this way:
on the surface.
They're not all just going down the weir, are they? They're all dropped down the weir. There's 100 of them back there.
Yeah.
All in the Clarisea.
The Clarisea's blocked up with them all.
Yeah, I'll clean the Clarisea and they'll all be stuck to him like that. And the Clarisea, I don't know what the hell. That's where they've all gone.
I know.
Like what the hell?
No.
What a waste of money that is. But no, I think I had a load of them in, mate. And
I thought it'd be like adding that Daphne. Like when I had that Daphne, they all just died.
The Daphne, you never lived that down.
To be fair, that was like month 5 or 4 or something.
Yeah.
And they were next to the saltwater, the food, live food. So that was a bit crazy, wasn't it? Really? I just thought.
All right. He was about 18 months into your journey, Jay.
I think, you might be right, actually, Steve.
Right, I've got a couple of questions here. So this one about flow. Cerapatopa, lower flow, and then digis prefer higher flow, maybe because digis have a more open growth pattern. Potentially. I mean, are digis more like acros or cerapatopa, you can say it. The way they grow is very different, aren't they? You would say digis are more like sticks, but then you get digis that are montes and they plate, don't they? So you got all different kind of ones. I don't know the answer. Maybe it is open growth patterns why they like it and the others don't.
Size of the polyps, won't it? Like if it's got smaller polyps, it'll be able to take higher flow, whereas like torches and things like that have large polyps. You can't keep battering them, can you?
True.
It's damage the structure.
True. Right, I'm going back up because there was a question around fish. We've covered fish a lot. A hell of a lot.
Steve's fish choice here.
So there you go. But this is in any fish selection or fish and coral in a holding. Any suggestions for fish coming in roughly 150 litres of water? New custom India credits coming. Oh, so this is holding containers, not fish. Well, I read that wrong. So what kind of containers? You can get those big, food. Make sure they're food grade. I actually think, I'm not too sure, the big ones from B&Q and places like that, they're quite, whether they're food grade, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But just something like that you could get.
What do you mean? Like, can you just put them in a bucket or something? Is that not the question here? I don't know.
Yes, it's what kind of container would you have? There's
Older,
about 150 litres to hold it until you get a tank in 3 weeks.
Oh, so they're going to be in
basically,
there for 3 weeks?
It's a holding container.
It's a holding container.
Right, okay. Yeah. That's quite, it's quite a long time to be.
Yeah. I mean, I think, to be honest, because I got those, I got the ones from, B&M, the B&M, those big white, the huge things. Yeah. I think it was like 100 litres. I've still got it actually in the old garage shed out there. But I've got it. I had it when I used to mix up my water, when I used to do salt water, when I used to do water changes, which basically they're brand new. You might as well come and have them. Yeah.
Brand new.
They got a sticker on it.
Yeah. I only did maybe about 10, something like that. But yeah, so I used to mix the water up in that. So I used to just sit the water in, like you said, 50 litres or something, and then mix the salt up in it, and then put it into the tank. But those ones, I think they're fine, mate. I think depends on like you said, as long as it's food grade, it should be good. But
there you go. Tekka's Reef, one from Argos.
160.
160, yeah.
Yeah, 45 quid,
45
160 litres on wheels.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
you also got to make sure for 3 weeks, you've got to have the flow, your lighting. If you got, depends what corals you got as well. I think fish is a lot easier than corals because obviously you can just have some flow and do some water changes and a heater, and that's all you need. Whereas if you've got corals, you've got to have a bit of lighting, haven't you?
Yeah.
So,
But then again, though, like you said, it depends on how long they are going to be in there. Because
if it's 3
corals,
weeks,
if you was doing, if it's 3 weeks, then for sure. But like I mean, you as you know, like sometimes when you do a blackout in your tank, you can do it 4 or 5 days, can't you, on a blackout, on a tank, with no lighting.
Right.
So and corals survive, don't they? But it depends. If it's 3 weeks, you like Paul said, you need lighting of some sort. But if it's anything less than, I reckon if it's anything less than a week, you'll be okay. You should be fine. You know what I mean?
It's going to be hard because you need a lid, but then you need to put the light on it as well.
Lighting. Yeah.
Because you need a lid to stop anything jumping out, unless you put the water level quite low. But then you're going to have to let the light on it as well. So how are you going to do that? That's quite tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless you get like a bit of mesh, something. You have to get some mesh.
Yeah. Get some of that mesh.
Like clip crocodile clips and just put some mesh over it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think definitely fish would be a lot easier for 3 weeks than corals. But then depends what corals you got. If you got strawberry shortcake and stuff like that, I'd probably be a bit worried, just because you're moving the things around. You want some, and probably if you've got fish in there, put a bit of live rock in there because one, it keeps your rock cooking, doesn't it? You don't get die off, and also your fish can hide and stuff like that, so it stops them from stressing out a little bit.
But that's exciting. He's getting a brand new custom tank in 3 weeks. I'd be well excited if I was there. That was happening to me. That's ace.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Right, got a question for you, Jay, because you wasn't on last week, was you?
For me.
It is. How do you feel about getting Tank of the Week?
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, cheers, John. I think John told me about this, actually. So I wasn't even watching the live stream at the time, but on the Reef Dog. Yeah, that live stream. Yeah, they had Tank of the Week, and they nominated me as like a good beginner tank. And because of the different corals that I've got, and I've only been in it for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
Now it's gone. To be fair, I'm shocked how well it's gone. It's gone. I've been lucky, to be fair, but yeah. So then the people voted for me on the live stream, and then I ended up winning it. So absolutely chuffed to bits. So if you voted for me, John, thank you so much. Did mean a lot. I actually told my family. I was that proud. I told my mum and dad, because they're not that interested. They're like, he's got a saltwater tank, but they don't really pay any attention to it, to be honest. They couldn't care less. Told my mother-in-law and told my wife, and they were like, "Oh, well done." It's like, do you know what? It's quite a proud moment, to be fair. So yeah, thanks. If Reef Dog's watching it, or Ryan's watching it, cheers, guys, for nominating me. And if anybody voted for me on here, honestly, chuffed to bits. It just confirmed how much I love the hobby, because I love the tank, I love the science of it, love the community. And then just, and people to say it's looking all right, then that was really nice as well. So, yeah, chuffed to bits.
We have got, you got an excellent tank, Jay, and also you filled it with quite high-end stuff as well, which is unusual for someone fairly new to the hobby, starting that way. And you just built it out from there.
I just picked what I liked at the time.
It is unusual. It is unusual, like Paul said, for someone and it's having the nuts to do it as well, to be honest, because like you said, not many people will go out and spend what you spent on a chalice, and you're right new into the hobby and stuff. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I could have done that. Yeah, I mean, I've been in it 5 years now, so I'm still a beginner in a sense. You know what I mean? But if I was my first year, say to me 170, I wouldn't go out and spend £300-400 on a chalice. On my first year, I'd be like, "What the hell? No chance, mate. I won't do it." And torches, and I'd be like, "What happens if they die?" In my mind, I'd be like, "What happens if they die? I've never lived." Yeah, I could do that, but you just went out and you had your mindset of what you wanted to do. I'm getting that, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure there was some trepidation, but you've done all right, mate. That's for sure.
Cheers. And I need to say this as well, because I haven't done it on my own. You Ross, and Paul have helped me out loads. Like just having you on the WhatsApp and just saying, what about this? What about that? You know, and then Christian from Signature Frags, he's been there as well. So I've not done it on my own. When I've had all the problems, but I've just had some good advice as well that's helped me along the way. But
we've had numerous Cobra meetings,
in early days. We did, yeah, for sure.
And I'm absolutely shitting myself about bringing these corals to your show, Love to Reef, as well, because I've never like transported corals. That's like the next bit, and I'm like, oh god, people want to, you know, people are buying these torches that are put on here.
Yeah.
And they're doing really well, but I've never transported or packaged a coral, so that's the next. There's always something you've never done, isn't there? You're just like, oh, first time.
They'll be fine. Just put, as we said before, just put them in the little containers.
Yeah,
it'd be better than bags. We put them in bags, and then make sure you got a poly box. Put them in the poly.
Yeah.
So if you got the poly box, make sure that you transport them in the poly box because they'll hold their heat, and then try and give them to the people as soon as possible.
As soon as you can, yeah.
Speak to those people to make sure they've got poly boxes because I've actually been speaking to someone today. So we're gonna have poly boxes there on the day.
Yeah.
Because I've seen before people turn up. And they said, well, I haven't got anything to keep my corals in.
Yeah.
And if you've got a poly box, you could put it in the back of your car because the weather, let's face it, the weather's probably going to be between, I don't know, say 15 degrees and 20 degrees. In a poly box in your car, that'll be fine because regardless of whether it's 16 or 24, it's not going to change. I know it sounds obvious, but in a poly box, it'll be fine all day. Yeah. So we're going to have a stock of poly boxes there for people to buy, not an LFS. So people are going to have to buy them. But number of people I've seen before coming, they haven't got anything. And if you're going to buy corals and you've got any kind of, even when I go to AAC or something like that, I take a poly box with me. If I'm going to buy a coral, I'll just stick it in the poly box because you never know, I might get stuck in traffic or something like that. And also it's easier keeping it in a poly box rather than rolling around in a bag when you get corals and that from places.
I did follow your advice, Paul, and I've got them here, some poly boxes. I bought them from this guy on eBay. He seems to do coral packaging. Yeah. So I bought some poly boxes, some tubs with styrofoam bases in them and stuff like that. And I've got some wrap, to go in between so it doesn't just move around in the poly box. So we'll see how we go. But I know it was the heat pack thing that I wasn't sure about because I always get overnight corals if they're posted. So perhaps they do need
but
that.
I wouldn't put a heat pack in personally when you're transferring yourself in the car. Yeah. Because if you think about it, you put the heat pack usually in because you're traveling overnight. It goes in different storage places. You have to put holes in it if you're going to put a heat pack in there anyway because it needs the oxygen. Yeah. If you put a heat pack in and there's no holes in it, the heat pack will just die and it will lose all its heat. And if it's going to be in your car, and those people that buy corals on the day, you're going to be able to store the corals somewhere in a poly box behind one of the vendors. So people won't have to wait. So we're trying to sort all that kind of stuff out at the moment. But if you come into Love to Reef, and there's a few people said yes, they are. I'm going to send email to all people who bought tickets and say, look, this is about the corals. If you've got a poly box, bring one for yourself. If not, they will be available on the day, but you're going to have to pay for them. And then poly boxes are not cheap. When I saw the last stock I bought, you used to be able to get a decent sized poly box for less than about $150. They're like £3, £4, £5. I don't know how much they are.
I bought 6 for 20 quid. It seemed very expensive.
Yeah, they are. They're dear now.
And then also you get other ones that are a lot thicker and they're even more expensive. So I get the ones that are not, about a centimetre thick is the polystyrene. But you can get some that are better quality, but for a lot of money, none of it's cheap, is it?
But yeah, I'm excited for Love to Reef. I was just going to say I joined reefing though. You know when it was the torch craze? And I don't know if there's been phases. I've not been in the hobby long enough, but everybody was collecting the torch names they were football stickers, and having the different names of them. And I kind of got sucked into that early on, and that's what kind of made me spend a bit more money perhaps than I perhaps should have done at first because I was just trying to get all the different torches that I wanted. I've still not got a tiger torch yet though, so that might be another one.
No,
they look good, don't they? They do, but. Yeah, they do look quite nice.
They're still quite expensive.
That's one. That's the one I wanted really.
That one and the Holy Grail have held the values. The other ones that I've got haven't really held the value as much.
No.
But
Yeah,
those
absolutely.
two.
So there's quite a few comments in it. Different people suggesting different places. Go to Asda, clear plastic. I used a storage box for my ATO, and then Drippy. Yeah, Drippy moved his tank, and we exchanged loads of emails or messages on IG about things he should consider and stuff like that. And you know, when you're transferring over, the best thing you do is try and prep for it. Loads of towels and all kinds of stuff. It's hard work on the day, that's for sure.
Keep tapping into Paul's knowledge because he's helped me loads, Drippy. So don't feel guilty. Just ask him everything.
Yeah,
he's not got much on.
No, at the moment, it's not a lot.
I don't know how I mean, I know I heard Steve last week, and I don't know how he's doing all this. I mean, to be honest, I don't know how you're doing it all either. But credit to you. Even the big companies aren't running their shows, are they? And you've kept yours going.
Yeah, I had a bit of a rant about that last week, didn't I? At the beginning, around the industry. I don't think he's doing us many favors at the moment with not putting on events and stuff like that. But I couldn't have done something this size. And it's not a massive event, don't get me wrong. It's only 100 people, but I couldn't have done this. Or should I say I wouldn't have wanted to do it either. 100 people, 12 vendors as a first event. I had to go through the first one to learn from that to get some of the basics that I've done for
this one.
For this. And it's just really about the logistics. And I've got a message earlier on. The person who's doing the frag swap, he can't be there now. So I've got to find somewhere. I then got to go and sort something out for the frag swap now. So the frag swap will go ahead. I just logistically got to go and sort something else out.
Did you bring the tank and everything last time?
No. So fortunately, Paul supplied the Paul Hughes from AAC.
Yeah.
So he had a tank from what was it? Coral Freaks.
Yeah.
So that would all be set up on the Friday. Water will go into it and everything else. So that will be sorted on the Friday. It's just the logistics of someone being there on the day. You know what happened last time.
Yeah, he was a good guy as well.
So Lee's a really good guy, but he just messaged me just before we came on to say that something's come up and he can't make it. So I now need to go and sort something else. I'm thinking that's all I need. But that's like, that worked really well last time. And there's a WhatsApp group, Steve, you've been on it, and there's loads of people swapping stuff. There's loads of people giving stuff away and stuff like that. So that looks like it's working really well again. So I'm really pleased with that because let's face it, if people can swap, and then those people that swap, they're swapping details, so they'll probably keep in touch with one another. And like you say, because of the four of us, it's helped all of us. Having people you can speak to and you can rely on in a hobby, I think I wouldn't enjoy it anywhere near as much as I do if it wasn't for you guys and the laugh that we have around both reefing and not so reefing, shall we say.
It's good. And that's what I'm looking forward to that weekend because, we'll have such a laugh as well at the same time. It was great last time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steve's there this time as well. Yes.
He is.
Nice. What time are you arriving, Stephen? Are you going to be there early?
I'm picking... I'm bringing Scott. You know Scott?
Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going.
I think Scott's going. Yeah, Scott's going. Yeah. So I'm picking Scott up.
You're coming down.
So I'm going to pick him up. So
he hasn't bloody bought a ticket. He hasn't bloody bought a ticket yet.
Well, he's not going then, is he?
I'd say he's a big old bloke, and Jill will go, no ticket, you ain't coming in.
Can you buy on the door though?
I'm not doing on the door, but I'll contact them because also with Scott, he's got hallucination zoas for me, which is brilliant. Right. And then I've got the day glows, so we're swapping day glows for hallucination. So I've been waiting ages to get my hands on hallucinations, years. So it used to be about 150 quid a polyp, and I weren't going to pay him. Yeah. So he's got hallucinations for me, and I think also I've got a Raja for him as well.
You'll have to sort out a ticket with it in then, my mate. Otherwise, you're not getting your hallucinations.
There will be an hallucination.
Yeah, you will be hallucinating. Yeah, you will be hallucinating. That's for sure, mate.
The better not melt on the way down and have a look at them, and then I'm hallucinating.
Now you see it. Now you know. The name says it all, doesn't it? Really.
Now you're putting pressure on me now to get in there properly, nice and safe, and in quick time, mate.
He's never got anybody there on time. That's his job.
Right, we've got a few more comments here. So there we go. We've got next task on Jay's list is to get the most colourful tank of the week.
Colourful tank.
Well done, Joe.
Yeah, brown's a shade.
So here's a bomb there. Jay, how's the RO unit doing?
Reefing, mate. He's chucked me under Steve's bus. Jesus. Well, Ross in here, it's up in the loft. I've put it in the loft for now. I'm out of the way.
Oh, me.
The worst thing was my wife bought it as a Christmas present as well. But it's just terrible. Like, I don't know. I need to, when I've got 6 weeks in the summer, I might have time to mess about with it and set it all up and have a go with it.
Well, it don't take long.
Yeah, I know. But you say that. Where's your blooming KH keeper?
Well, there's funny you should say that. the pH probe has been calibrated.
It's now out of calibration. You did that about 6 months ago.
No, that was about 6 weeks ago.
So that's out of calibration, probably.
No, it was sitting in RO water. So now, when they said you have to calibrate the tubes and you got to do this, I just thought too much of a good thing doing it all in one night.
Yeah.
So at some
spread the excitement out.
So at some point, I'm going to do the rest of it. I did say to the guy, because obviously Coral Compass are going to be there next Friday, and they distribute Reef Factory stuff. So I think I've got to get it done by next Saturday. Otherwise, he's going to go, Paul, how's the KH keeper? I can say, yeah, it's working perfect. Well, it is really, isn't it? I've not had any problems with it.
But if you've got any problems, you can take it to him and give it straight back to him there. Yeah. So you know what?
I'm sure it'll be all right. I've got to. At some point, I'll sort it out. Yeah, so
Reef Factory are kicking out loads of products at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, so they're bringing along some of the new products, the auto feeder, which we discussed privately quite a bit. So we'll see that. He's having, the new testers, the one that are £600. Yeah, one of those are being shipped over from Poland. Ooh, hopefully he'll get it Tuesday, and if he does get it this week, that'll be on show next Saturday. That'll be interesting
to see the quality of it.
Absolutely. So if he does get it this week, it'll be the first time it's shown in the UK. So if he does, that'd be brilliant to have a kind of UK first. Yeah,
to be fair though, didn't Steve get the price right on that? I'm sure you guys the price, didn't you?
What was it? 620,
680.
He called it in the live stream.
£680, mate. Told you I called it, did I? Tell you what, never doubt my contacts, my friend. I know him. Hey, I said it, but you know what though? There's been it's been hit and miss from what a lot of people, because I spoke to a lot of, I say a lot of people, about 12, 13 people, and they messaged me saying, "What's your thoughts on it?" And I'm like, I don't work for them, you know what I mean? But like the thoughts, if you want my honest opinion, is I think it might be slightly. I know, granted, you can change the reagents that you put in it, and I totally get that, and I totally get like, and I totally get like the way they're coming from in like they wanted a machine that just specifically basically concentrates on just like one product, you know what I mean? Whether it's nitrates,
I get the principle of it
to make it more, to make it more accurate and stuff like that. But like you said, if you at £680, the likelihood of you going to go out and spend and buy 3 of them, is the way I look at it is it like this, you could go out, you could buy an Apex Pro, and you could buy the Trident for less money. So just think of it like that, So think of it like that, for 3 of them. And not only that, with the Apex, you're getting the peace of mind that you can turn off your, God forbid, you had a leak, you could switch off your return pumps, you could do everything. You get your ORP probes, you get your pH probes, you get your temperature probes, you get multiple things. And then you have the Trident that tests the alkalinity, calcium, and magnesium, So really, the only thing you're missing is the nitrates. Do you know what I mean? So in a way, is it priced a bit too high? I don't know. Only time will tell. And but I think you get that reef community, you get that Reef Factory community, don't you? You know, who's going to buy it no matter what.
You will have people that want the gadgets.
Who want it all. You know what I mean?
It's simple I agree. It's a bit like you've got people that just have Apex. And then you've got GHL, and then you've got Reef Factory, and you've got some people that have Red Sea and a whole 9 yards. And I can get why you buy into it. You have one ecosystem. Yeah. And there's a few now, isn't it? Because Red Sea, you can do the whole 9 yards on it. They haven't got the testers, but they've got loads of other stuff. And their app is pretty good as well. I found the Red Sea app pretty good because I've only got the light on it, but it looks pretty good. I love Apex, but no, I mix and match depending on what I've got.
Absolutely.
You hardly ever use the app, do you? You don't use the app much. So once you set up, you plug and play as much as you as much as you can. The thing is that would you buy, if you wanted to test phosphate and say that was important to you, it's probably the only one. It's not. There are others that do phosphate as well as things. There's not many, is there? But there are some that do phosphate. I think the Mastertronic does phosphate. I think.
Mastertronic, yeah, the Mastertronic, yeah.
But I suppose if you wanted to do just phosphate, it's a small unit. It just does one thing. Could it be a lot easier than having multiple? One unit does multiple things. It comes down to the price point, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah.
And how you feel about that price point.
Yeah.
Do you think that, because some people wouldn't think about getting a KH keeper or something like that, because they go, wow, that is like far too much money. I'm prepared to pay.
Yeah, but the KH, but with the KH, I had this out as well. Yeah, it was like with a KH, with alkalinity. Alkalinity is one of the most important parameters in your tank. Yeah. Whereas calcium and magnesium, magnesium, you can run your magnesium low at like 1280, or you can run it as high as 1500. With that, there's a good fluctuation in that. With alkalinity, you don't want your alkalinity to go from 8 to 10 or 8 to 9 or anything like fluctuating like that, because you're in for a disaster, mate. You know what I mean? So I can get it why, but like the KH keeper that I've got is 800 quid. Totally get that.
Well, you got the probes and stuff like that, but you see more value in it. What you're saying is more value in spending that money for alkalinity than spending a little bit less for phosphate. That's what you're saying, aren't you?
Or nitrates. Would you buy one of those? Would you buy one of those machines for nitrates? You know what I mean? Just to test your nitrates. You know what I mean? When you can buy a Salifert test kit, do it in 3 minutes, and it'll tell you roughly then, won't it? So it's those sort of things in it. You know what I mean? That for me is like, I mean, if I was to buy, I'm not going to buy one, but if I was to buy one, I would have put I would have probably put phosphates, because I think alkalinity and phosphates are the two parameters that really fluctuate. You don't really want to fluctuate too much, in your system. So for me, I would run that. But is it worth £680 just to test phosphates? I don't know. I think I'll be sitting on the fence with that. But you know what? A lot of people, like you said, they're going to go out and buy it, and it'd be interesting to see what the first impressions are of them, because as you know, when the KH, the original KH keeper came out, he had a nightmare with them, didn't they? So you know what? I would wait. Yeah. I would wait. To be honest, and see.
This should be an easier piece of kit because there's less to it, isn't there? Because you've got because with the alkalinity, you got your pH probe, you got the other stuff, so you've got a lot more mechanics in it, haven't you? That's got to be calibrated and got to be done in the right time, in the right place, in the right way. And one of the things is out. But as you say,
what's the worrying thing for me is that, like, you are a reef factory target audience, you are, Steve, because like you love. I'm not taking the mickey here. You love to automate like nearly every job on your tank.
Yeah. So
this is an automation tool, and so this is aimed at people like you with your sort of reef. And if you're saying that you're not sure about that, there isn't a massive customer, target audience here. And if you're saying no, that's not great, is it?
People are not going to listen to me, mate. I'm like, there's people out there with a lot better tanks than that.
I think a lot of people listen to you.
More knowledge than I've got. You know what I mean? But seriously, like more knowledge than I've got and stuff for sure. I'm saying it. I'm saying it in a sense, that like, I mean, nearly £700 with a little bit of a kit. So say you wanted, say you bought a bigger tank, and you set it all up. You wanted to test the alkalinity and nitrates.
I'll do it on a test kit. I'll do it on a hammer test kit. Still,
it's gonna cost you like 2,100 quid to get free.
Exactly, I do it on a hammer.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, mate.
It's a lot of money.
And I don't think a lot of people will buy buy free to test free. I think people will buy one.
I think they'll buy one.
What they'll do is what people will do is they'll buy one and then they will change the reagent. So say for instance you're having problems with nitrates, you can put the nitrate reagent in it, and then run that for say a month, 2 months or whatever. Get your nitrates down, and then say for instance you might say, you know what, I'm going to test the phosphates.
How often do you do a nitrate test? I mean,
probably not as often as you should do. I think what people do, they'll buy one if they really like it. They might be tempted and then they'll buy another one. And over a period of time, they might add it. So all of a sudden you think, oh no, in the end, you end up with 3. and it's over a period of time. So you could see people, you got the keeper. Oh, I like that. Do you know what? I might buy a phosphate one, see how it's going. And before you know it, you got the full 9 yards, just like you end up with all the kit over 3 or 4 years. People upgrade all their stuff and everything else. So you could see it over time.
I mean, if money's no object, just, fill your boots and get them all. But like for most people,
there's
money is like, money.
Yeah.
You have to think about money.
I agree.
And I just think,
for sure.
I mean, I wouldn't think about it for 600-700 quid. No chance.
£600-700.
Like you say, Steve, I agree. I'd rather, if I was getting one that automated measured anything, it'd be alkalinity and salinity. Those two.
Yeah.
Those two. You do need to check those quite regularly. To be fair, especially alkalinity.
And the salinity probe I found on the Apex is pretty good.
Yeah,
it was pretty good. And it's one of the cheaper probes, if I remember right. And of course, I got caught out on that before, where I dumped a lot of RO in before. I made a mistake and I put some water in that I shouldn't have RO rather than salt. And all of a sudden, the salinity went down. You get an alert, so you know straight away, because it could drift quite often, and it could take weeks, but you wouldn't even know. And people that quite often have problems, it's their salinity that's drifted up or down and is causing the problems. And it's one of those that slowly just wrecks the tank potentially. So the salinity probe is really worth it on the Apex.
Yeah. That's the one thing that I need to get, to be honest, was the salinity probe. One thing I've got. Obviously, I've got the other probes, but I've not got that. I've never had the salinity probe. Now I don't know whether, because I've got the junior model, the EL version of the the Apex. Yeah. So I don't know whether I need to get like a like a W. I think I need to get the WXM module.
Have a look on the brain, on the underneath of the brain.
Yeah.
You've got all the ports. Look online to see what the salinity port is. It might say salinity on it. I'm not sure. I thought you could do it off of the brain.
No, I didn't think.
I'm not 100% sure.
I didn't think I had that connector, to be honest, because I remember. I'm sure because when I got mine, I only got the temperature probe with mine, and I got the pH probe. That's the only two I got, so I don't know, mate. Yeah.
That's a really good point. Don't buy a heater for a couple of years and buy a salinity probe.
He goes to a counselling session about this. He meets up with other people who've got the same issue. You keep buying heaters every couple of one a year, don't you, Steve? It's got 9 at the moment.
No, actually, I haven't bought one for a while, to be honest. I said that a few weeks back. I need to. I'm gonna stick to it, mate. I'll let this one go over a year. This new
sure.
So yeah, could be pushing it, but yeah, no, I'm gonna let this one go over a year. Yeah, I spoke about this, mate. Very important. That's
what I would like. If I had a wish list, I could have 3 probes. It'd be obviously. Maybe is he winding me? Is he winding me up there? I'm all ears. I'm literally cancelling my order now. Is he taking a mick or what? What's going on there?
You're an influencer.
Don't cancel your order, mate. Just keep it going.
Don't listen to it. Don't listen. Awesome. I tell you what, Darren, you buy it. Yeah, tell me how good it is, or if it's crap, then I won't order one.
Steele get one down the line. He loves automation.
I tell you what, he'll end up with one. Look what's falling in behind my cabinet, behind my cupboard. Look, I just found this unit.
That's it.
Yeah, I tell you what.
There's loads behind there.
I tell you what. Tune into my video this week. You'll be my cabinet. Hey, my cabinet. Now I'll tell you what. You won't even recognise it. Got all my cable management, mate. Mate. Oh, it's like a proper reef tank now. It's like elite. It's elite, mate. I love it. It's absolutely elite. I should have done it 4 years ago, but I didn't. Yeah, but now it's like. It was a nightmare, mate. Doing it all. I literally spent, I think it was like 3.5 hours or something. The heating in the tank to keep the heat on, mate. Yeah, one of my spare heaters, mate. One of my spare heaters in the tank saved me. So yeah, we had that in there. It was like, it was crazy, mate. It was took 3.5 hours, I think.
3.5 hours. Really good, mate. Tidying up cables.
I couldn't spend 3.5 hours or anything.
Yeah. Honestly, mate, my legs were absolutely.
Your legs were climbing ladders.
Mate, the legs were battered. No, because you was bending down on your knees and all that, mate. I was like,
what are you doing, sumo?
Management. God. Listen, a 6'2" guy, bending down in a cupboard and reaching out for hundreds of cables, mate. Oh, God, it was a nightmare. it crippled my back and my legs. Oh, it's crippled me. But done now. But I tell you what, first tip of the day. Tip of the day. If ever you get a tank, I'm going to be Jay for this week. Yeah. Right. If ever you get a tank and you're setting up, do your cable management before it all goes to pot. Because that's what I'd do. If I had a new tank, I would do all my cable management straight from the get-go, mate. Straight away, like all neat, all nice and tied up.
Would you have like trussing and stuff like hidden?
Yeah. Get it all hidden and stuff like. Get it all nice and neat, and then get your power bars, like stick them together or put them on the side, inside the cabinet, like.
It does look smart when you do it, doesn't it?
To look smart, mate. To look like the dog's nuts, you know what I mean? That's how you got to do it, mate. That's how you got to do it, Because if you do that straight from the get go, you're right, mate. And I wish I did mine. Now that I see mine, even my missus to pay my tank a compliment, underneath, especially in the summer, she went, that looks fantastic. Now that looks like the really, really good. So I was like, well, I'm quite happy with that. Getting a compliment off her, mate, is a welcome addition. It's really good, mate. But this week, check it out.
What's it called? Steve doing his cable management.
No, can't remember that.
Right, while you're doing that, we're now 25 minutes behind, Steve. So I'm just going to go through some comments. We've been gassing. I don't know what we've been gassing about, but we've been gassing. Right, let's just carry on. So there's a compliment there, Jay. So
thanks, Alan.
Well deserved, Jay. Love to reef last year. You inspiration for a great tank.
Oh, cheers, mate.
18 years in, I still hate spending a lot of money on a single coral equipment. That's a different story. I think Woody said last week he's got 2 tridents in his loft. That one
mate. I tell you what, freaking hell, trident. Yeah,
I know. The award should go to the members of the Cobra meeting. I think
that is
very
true.
well said.
I did give them credit in that little thank you speech.
Yeah. So what we got there? Good evening, Laura. So Laura's going to be showing at Love to Reef. So good evening to you, Laura.
She's bringing some gone, isn't she?
She is. Goniopora, some chalice, amongst other things. So that'll be good.
Yeah, that will be good.
There's a lovely comment. I joined lots of live streams through the week and enjoyed yours the most. Now, do you think John says that to all the live streams? But
I think I'm sure
he just says it to us. So thank you, John. It's much appreciated.
No, I appreciate that. It's good, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Nice, John.
All right, let's go. I started exactly the same time as Jay. Enjoyed your videos along the way, but 2 velvet wipeouts put me back at least 12 months. Ouch. Jay, you got sucked in on the torches.
Yeah, I did. I'm not so bothered as much now. I'm on the Gonny train now. That's a different one.
Someone else going to Love to Reef.
Yes.
That'd be great.
He's actually bought some. He's bought 2 torches off me, actually, mate. I'm going to do my best to get it there. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, so Grumpy Reefer, make sure you bring a poly box.
No, I've got one.
Or buy one. And you're supplying poly boxes.
See you, look.
I mean, you're taking that. You're putting 1 coral in that.
No, I haven't got them out yet. There's 6 in it. I bought 6, haven't I?
6? How big are the boxes?
Well, I haven't actually opened it yet.
Oh, let's have a look. You know what? We're so desperate.
Oh, you're probably doing an unboxing.
What, you want to see a poly box? Oh my god!
Go on.
What a Friday night!
While you're doing that, I'll do some more comments. I tell you, 500 next year. No way, we're going that big. I still remember Aaron's live stream. Jay commented he started his channel at the same time. We've got John. My son has a job at a new Gordon Ramsay Lucky Cat. Nice one. Are you going there for a start or buying an expensive coral? Because it's 1 more expensive class to eat. I'll probably go for the coral, actually. Right, let's have a look. I sold my RO unit. Much more hassle. Love spotless water. We won't go into spotless water. Swap it for a raffle. Right, Jay, how you doing?
I'm just seeing how much I paid. $18.99 for 6 boxes, and then I paid 14 quid for the pot. Jesus Christ!
And how many pots did you get?
Well, I've got 5 corals. I think I bought. I don't know actually.
Oh, did the pots come with the foam inside? And
no, I had to buy them separately.
Sounds a lot of money. Well, it depends how many pots you got, I suppose. Yeah. Right, and then we've got a couple of comments. So I said about the Red Sea app, didn't I? Love the brand, but the app is shocking. I can't change my light schedule. I changed the blue from that. and it changes my white at the same time. See, I haven't had that. The annoying thing I've had is that I've changed the blues and I have to go in and change the whites, but I don't change it very often.
See, that's one thing I must say. That's one thing I must say about the like.
Mobius.
Remember when Mobius had a bit of an issue, didn't they? Remember Mobius had a bit of an issue and all.
Oh, there we go.
Since there they are.
I thought I had 6. I've got 4 here. 4 for
18 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can transfer all of them in that. Like, you only need one, don't you?
That's about
but I'm
size.
gonna give each person, like Grumpy Reef and my mate. He's having one to himself. Like,
what?
I can put some. I've got some. What?
He's bought one.
Are you gonna put one coral in that?
No, he's actually having 2 off me, mate. He is. He's a big spender. Right. He's having 2.
Right.
Yeah. He's having that one there. You see that one there? That's his.
Yeah, the Holy Grail.
Holy Grail.
No, that's a Dragon Soul.
Oh, the Dragon Soul.
And then these are here's my pea pots with the foam look.
Oh, there you go.
It looks pretty good. I mean, for the money, it looks ideal.
Jay, they're pea pots and a bit of foam.
Yeah. Coral frag supply.
You're not going to believe that. I bought those same pots the other day.
Did you?
The exact
from the same place?
Yeah, the same shop. I'll go get them now. Yeah.
On eBay, yeah. I'm just like,
He's
got everything I need.
Coral frags.
Yeah.
He could have cut that base for me, to be fair. I've got a job on now there for that.
That base, that's cut though, isn't it? That fits in the top right.
Well,
he means the centre. You know, the centre where the frags will go through it.
I need some elastic band. To be fair, that is a good little setup.
Yeah, it's fine.
It'll be all right, mate.
That's spot on. That's
what it fits snug as well. There, look.
Yeah.
I'll show you all the ones that I got. Freaking, I got hundreds of them, mate. Oh, I'll tell you. Wait there.
How many did I get there then? Is it 8? 1, 2, 4, 8, 10. 10 pots.
That's right. Got some for the future. But also, Jay, if you bring some frags back, you could potentially put them in there, couldn't you?
If I just bring it all down, put it in the car,
then
I'm good to go, aren't I?
Make sure you keep a
frag
sell box for yourself.
I can undercut yours from the car park.
Yeah, right. Let me start.
I'm only joking. I won't do that.
You're barred. You're off the list.
I'm off the list. I'll just use my other ticket to get in. One of them.
I mean, the other one that's got the same number and the same name on it. That's the downside.
Who got number 1 this year, anyway?
It was Connor. Connor
got number 1.
Yeah, he was in there first. You was quite slow this year. I can't remember what number you was, Jay, but you was quite low down. Look at Steve's stash.
Look at Steve. How many?
There you go.
Is that for the
all of these people wanting these frags from me. Look at that, mate. I've got bloody loads of them.
Have you got the foams as well? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got all them. Yeah. What's it called? Coral Frag Supply.
It's the same place.
Yeah, Coral Frag Supply. Yeah.
Yeah. I got them the other day, mate. I spent about 80 quid.
Here. I've just said he's a rip-off. Yeah. He's got good stuff.
Guys,
you know what?
People are tuning in, right? And we're sitting there talking about pea pots. That's what they are, aren't they?
Well, pea pots that get your coral home, mate. Pea pots that get your coral home.
I would say they're 2 centimeters thick. They are at least probably.
They're thick boxes, them aren't they?
They're a bit big. It's a bit bigger than I thought because someone's having one coral. They're going to get lost in there.
Yeah, just put some newspaper around it, Jay, so it's not moving around.
Do you know what? I've been saving, the Amazon packaging.
Yeah. I've
been saving that, that brown paper you get.
Yeah.
I've been saving that, so because I didn't want to buy that as well on top. Jesus.
No, there's no need, is there?
No, I'll end up paying him for the bloody coral at this rate.
Well, there we go.
It's going to be good. Can't wait.
I tell you what, you'd be hard pushed to find anywhere on YouTube where people are doing unboxing of boxes.
Unboxing of a box.
Exactly. Where's my bloody phone gone?
When this content goes out on YouTube, it's brilliant.
Yeah, and if anyone, I tell you what, if you want to do a like after that, you're really pushing it, aren't you?
Yeah. Jesus.
Right, I think I'm going to move on to some other comments.
I am glad I've opened it though, because Lisa can see what I've got, and I know that I've got what I need now, so I'm happy.
So you're sorted.
Exactly.
I'm all set. Yeah. I just need to get some extra water on the morning, so when I take them out, I can chuck some salt water to top it up because I don't want it topping up with RO.
Also, what you could do, put a little bit of carbon in. Just a
Carbon,
grain of carbon in each one.
The Red Sea Active one.
Yeah, just put one.
Any
one
carbon,
piece of carbon in there, because in the travels, if they decide to poop or whatever, or give off some toxins, the carbon will then absorb it, and it's fine.
Right.
Usually, the people that send corals through the post, I would always expect a piece of carbon in there if they know what they're doing.
I've always had carbon, but they've been quite large pieces.
I always put one or two. If you've got 120 ml of water, I'd probably put no more than 2 pieces in. Now, you can put more in if you want, but
just a couple of flakes.
You don't want to waste carbon, do you, Jay? If it's only 2 pieces.
Well, now put loads in. Massive tub.
It's an expensive hobby, this, Paul.
It is, yeah. 2 rather than 3 pieces is, you're talking, you're saving 50%.
Saying that, I've heard that the electricity is coming back down again, so that's good news.
Oh, is it? I hope so.
That's a welcome relief in this hobby. Jesus.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look. So someone else about the Red Sea app has been bugging out the last couple of days and messing with my red waves and reef mat. That's not good.
Interesting. I was on the reef mat not yesterday, the day before, because I took my pump out and I cleaned it, and it just switched off and went and put it back on. It went straight back on straight away. No issues, no updates or anything. I always check the app to make sure that it's been updated. Yeah, but then like the other day, I had a bit of a problem with the the reef factory one on my Alkalinity. All it was doing was just searching and searching. Then I went on the reef factory. I went on the Reef Factory group on Facebook, and I just put down, like, anybody having this problem, you should search it. And they said what they did was they did an update on the app, so you need to just uninstall the app and install it again. You know what I mean? Anyway,
so
it was the app, not the actual reef. It's not the actual machine. It was the app. So I just uninstalled it, and it came straight away. Uninstalled it, installed it, and it worked perfect.
Yeah. Right, there's a few more comments there. So, Woody's Reef haven't done a NO3 test for about 4 or 5 years.
The thing is, though, we say this a lot, and it gets a bit boring probably, but we say, like, you look at your corals will tell you nutrient levels quite well. Or if you're just overgrown with algae, that tells you that your nutrients are high.
Yeah, and if your phos goes up a little bit too high, your SPS sometimes start to lose a little bit of colour. Yeah, I find.
If you hit the colours right on your corals, then you're in the right zone, aren't you, with nutrients?
Yeah.
Peter's Anonymous. Yeah, Steve runs that.
Absolutely. PM2. So Darren's saying you need the PM2 for the salinity.
PM2 module.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I think I'll have to buy that. So it'd be a bit of an expensive job, that would be, just to install the salinity probe. Be about over £200 just to put a salinity probe in there.
Yeah.
Well, I must admit, coming on to probes,
that's probably better than
coming on to probes, I had an issue with my probe of the as
Can you rephrase that?
Yeah. What? I didn't get that one then. Oh yeah, no, right, okay then. Not with my probe. I had an issue with my Apex probe. You know what I'm saying? I never have an issue with my probe, but that's a different story. Yeah, with my Apex pH probe.
Yeah,
as you know, I have it dialed in, don't I? Yeah, to my Versoc, to my Versa that's Dalton McAlcosser. Yeah, so usually I've had it set for, if it goes to 8.4, that it'll switch off. But unbeknown to me, which I very rarely go on, I only ever go on the Apex when, say, for instance, I'm either switching off my pumps, to clean them or stuff like that, or maybe if someone's jammed or I'm changing out the reactor, for the reactor. So I don't really go on it, but I thought, I'll go on it because I was cleaning out my return pump when I was cleaning out my wave maker. We turned it on, went in, and my pH probe was reading 7.4 or something like that.
Wow.
And I was like, well, that's low. When pH is definitely not 7.4. So I took it out, calibrated it, or tried to calibrate it, and it was just basically nowhere near it, mate. And I literally did it for about maybe an hour, and it was just going absolutely nowhere near it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it was going nowhere near it.
Steve, so you got salinity on there. So you got the new base. You got the
space. Yeah, this one.
Yeah. So you got salinity, bottom left hand corner. you can put a salinity probe straight in.
Oh right. Oh no, yeah, that's the one I've got. Yeah,
So
yeah.
So you don't need the PM2. I know the PM2 has got the salinity on it, but I couldn't remember. I think you want to just get a picture up. So yeah, you can put. Yeah, obviously you got your temperature on there. You put salinity in there. Yeah,
perfect. That'll do me. Yeah, then I'll be all right with it. Then yeah, I could get one. I wonder how much did he go for then? pH those salinity probes. How much are they going for?
Let's have a look. Apex.
Get one up now. Let's have a look.
Salinity
Do a bit of shopping.
Probe.
Well, get one of them actually when I'm down there.
Well, that's it. Yeah, if you let Paul know now, he might be able to get you one in when you go.
Yeah, I could well get one of them, to be honest.
I reckon that would be a good purchase for your tank.
I'm trying to find it because I've got the conductivity one, which is not the one you want, is it?
No.
I'm struggling to find it.
Good little buy for yours, Steve.
That's the pH probe.
Yeah, really, you should have one of them. You know, like you said, because salinity is freaking. It's one of the most underrated things that we don't always test for.
I've googled it and it's not coming up. I'll have to.
You had a bit of problem with yours. You're dumping
loads of only because of water. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm just going to look on a different website.
Go to Kraken. They've got everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, I'll get there in a minute.
Apex salinity probes, yeah.
He's going to do his own shopping here.
He is. He's ordering it online as we speak.
Just get one at Love to Reef.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Paul will have them in stock. Do you know what? I'm Googling it. I can't find it.
Paul's got everything pretty much.
He carries a huge stock of
he's got loads
of Apex stuff.
I've ordered a sun.
You know what? I'll
message him to see if he's got it in stock.
I'll message him. I'll have a chat with him. Yeah, and
I've messaged him for a sun collar. I don't know if he's managed to get hold of one for me.
I don't know.
Hopefully.
Right, let's go through.
I'll message him.
Yeah. So there we go. One of my heaters. There's no pressure here. So Darren said to one of his mates that at the show there'll be one of those Reef Factory testers. It better be good to his word. Good to see it. Right, let's have a look. Let's go down and see what we haven't got to yet. There you go. I won a polybox from Jay for free, considering the amount of money I'm giving him. I think you're getting one.
Yeah, you're definitely getting a polybox for free. I'll sort you out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you get some nice torches as well. So but I can't wait to catch up. It'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be good.
He also owes me a lunch as well, so you can sort that out.
I was looking the wrong way. It's the conductivity one, so I have to look up that in a minute. These are to do the sample pots. I think you can get 50 from China for $5.
Yeah, I can believe that. I think there's a lot of profit in it. But to be fair, that company though, for someone like me who doesn't really know what they're doing,
you want half a dozen and stuff like that. If you're selling all the time and you want to buy 100 or something like that, it's probably best to buy a sheet of foam. And then obviously get 100 or 200 of the poly boxes.
The small hobbyist who just sells the odd bit here and there. They're quite. I'm quite impressed, to be fair.
Yeah.
Quite impressed. Box wars, Jesus Christ.
So Jay, have you made any room in your tank? And Steve, have you two made any room in your tank for any extra corals? Because I know you're both.
There's only two corals that I want now at the moment, which is a sun coral for a cave.
Yeah.
I want one of them amazeballs gonnies, like a proper showpiece gonnie.
Yeah.
They're the only two corals that I'm after at the moment because my tank's a bit full, so it's got to be now. It's got to be something that I'm really after. Saying that though, I'll get down there and I'll be like, "Oh, that looks really nice." And I'll end up, buddy. I'd love, and I don't know if I could get one, but one of them big, massive sea fans. Oh my God, I'd love one of them. Like at the back. I'd absolutely love. I don't know if they're photosynthetic, but I'd just love them.
Yeah, they are. I found one. So Paul had some massive ones in that display tank, and he's fragged them. And last time I was in there. When was that? Last week, I think it was. I can't remember. The last 7 days, and he's still got them. I don't think they're ready to go yet. So whether he's ready, I might message him to see if they're ready to go. So we had at least.
Can you reserve me one? I'll have one of them.
So I don't know if because I was in there, he's resting them in the same tank, obviously that had been kept in.
Because he had them in that big main display, didn't he?
Yeah.
At the back?
So the frags of them are on the sandbed in that tank.
Right.
Where he must have fragged them 6-8 weeks ago, I think. But
yeah, he did it a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll have to message him to see if they're going to be see if when they're going to be available. They might be available then. I don't know.
Yeah, but I can't be. Oh God, I'll be falling off.
They're only small. They're only about. I think about. They were massive in the display. They were good, like 7, 8, 9 inches long. I think the frags they were about 1.5 inches.
I want one. I want one for the back.
They're lovely. They're
really
absolutely
good. Stunning. I think those sea fans and Gorgonians, I think, just make it look like a real natural reef. I know they're not colourful, but they just look special.
Yeah. They look different, don't they?
So I've got 3. The fans, which hopefully I'm gonna have to go to get the fan first before anybody else. Bloody, I'll go down the shop first before I come in.
I don't know what you've done with your light, Jay, but you've got the
Mate,
Simpson.
You know what it is? It's because I've got the blues on here and the whites, and I've got whites over here. Just look a bit yellow. Look like that minion wherever he's gone. He was on there, wasn't he, that minion? What are you buying? What are you shopping for at Love to Reef anyway, Steve? Have you got anything?
Got a few SPS with a couple of fellow reefers. Yeah, a few of them going there, mate. You know what? So many people have wanted a piece of that Maggie talk, which I'm quite welcome about. You, to be honest,
yeah,
you can have a piece of it.
You're swapping quite a bit on that, or giving them away. Because I know there was at least you said about at least 20 people have said they look. Because Margie Torch is not that easy to come by. I don't think.
No. But like I said, that a lot of people are having the SPS. Some of the SPS that I've got, I'm fragging. What do you call it? I'm doing them this weekend, so they'll be in for a week, so they should be good. Should be good enough, you know what I mean? Rather than what do you call it? Like doing it literally quite a day or so before. So I'm going to do it I'm going to do it Sunday, and then it gives like near enough a week, so it should be fine. It should be good enough. But yeah, like I said, it's mainly just Stylopore or some of that Ceratopia, or some of the Mayanki Tort that they want as well. You know what I mean?
I mean, what are you after buying? Is there anything that you're after?
I'm getting buying wise.
What about strawberry shortcakes? I'm sure Paul's got strawberry shortcakes.
If anything, I want a strawberry shortcake. So I will probably get one of them. To be honest,
I'm going to message him.
In fact, no. If you have got a strawberry shortcake, I am getting one.
To see.
I'm messaging him now about that.
If he's got any strawberry shortcakes, because I think they have. If not, I'd be surprised if they haven't got any in the coal farm. Yeah. So he might have some pieces that you can choose from.
I'll message you a message.
Now I'm going to message him.
About what do you got? So strawberry shortcake. I want a piece of that. And then, like I said, I'm getting a couple of pieces of SPS from another guy. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to maybe build this rock. Or what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of moving, to be honest, that MP40. I'm moving the MP40 on from this side onto the other side. I'm bringing the gyre over to this side. It's less powerful. You can adapt it more. With the flow. Yeah. And it's not going to be battering. So I use this rock then as an SPS. I could go up and over, So I'm thinking of just swapping those pumps over. So running both the MP10 and the MP40 on the left hand side, and then running the gyre on this right hand side. That's what I'm thinking of doing because to be honest, the majority of my SPS are over on that left hand side anyway. You know what I mean? So they should be okay. With the MP40 and the MP10. And like I said, I only run it at 40% on the MP40 anyway.
Which is enough for a 4-foot tank, isn't it? Because
if
you get too much, one, your sand will start going,
enough.
And two, you'll start battering, and you get water spill as well. Especially when you go on the new nutrient one that goes kind of wave function, doesn't it? It goes quite close to the top. At the best of times.
Exactly. So and then that will give me then the chance to use that rock then, because it's not going to get tons of flow, to use it as an SPS, rock, which is what it was intended for. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But it's we'll see.
Yeah.
Steve Webb.
What's that? I remember Steve. He's been he used to photo match on ages ago.
Yeah. So there we go. We're here to help each other, not to make money out of our friends, Jay.
What are you about?
Don't you?
Yeah.
There's some comments there.
I'm not making money.
I know.
I'm making money out of people.
I donated my kidney to a stranger 13 years ago. So if you need some of my liver, Jay, you're welcome for a few fries.
He's making me sound heartless here. Jesus.
Sound heartless.
Some people said they wanted a torch, and I was like, oh, and they were stinging everything in my tank, so I need to have a little trim. You know.
So has the coral warfare gone away now, Jason?
Not really. No, it's all kicking. Well, it just starts back up again, doesn't it?
Well, you need to frag some more of them, do you?
I need to frag the Holy Grail next, but it's just not quite ready.
What the
Holy Grail?
Not long. The stems are not long enough, are they, at the moment to frag? Or you just putting it off?
It's not. No, it's just not quite fully split to get that massive trembling. So it's. I'm gonna have to leave it maybe 2 or 3 months.
You think?
Yeah, 2 or 3 months. But yeah, that'll be the next bit just to cut back.
Yeah, that GSP is growing quite well. You didn't really notice it, but tonight really popping, isn't it? The GSP.
I absolutely love that GSP. Like for a coral that's affordable, that is the one. I think. Yeah. Like, it's just so like super bright, and I just got this thing, like when you see a lawn and it's got like I like stripes and I like a football pitch, and it's just all neat and the grass looks ace. That's what GSP reminds me of. It's just like neat grass, and just unbelievable. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favourites, and it's like, what is it? I think it was paid £10 for it.
You can't knock that, can you? The only thing is when people put it on pieces of rock, it spreads a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
On the back wall, you're okay.
See the movement, can't you? Like ripples.
Yeah.
I remember watching a tank. I can't remember it. God, it was years ago. Yeah, probably maybe 3 years ago. I can't remember who it was, but they had a bare bottom tank. Yeah, and they just had that green GSP all on the.
I bet that looks
mate, it looked fantastic. Yeah, but he was saying that the only problem he has was because it was on the it was going up some on the glass, and then it was also going on the rocks. So he couldn't have he had to separate the rock then, which it was growing on, and move it away from the others, because then it wouldn't grow up, up onto it. Yeah. So it looked fantastic, mate. When the wave makers, it was blowing it just looked like grass. It was just awesome. It looked fantastic, but it's just so fast growing, all that stuff. Once it takes off, that's it.
And it's hard. You get people trying to kill it and stuff like that, and they find it really difficult because it's grown totally out of control. A bit like Xenia, isn't it? Both of them. They spread really quick. And the only way you can really kill it is by taking nutrients right down. And starving it. And of course, then you have a problem with other stuff. Yeah.
I remember when I had Xenia, I loved it, mate. The polyp extension, when they just open like that.
You turn the flow off. When you turn the flow off, it just hangs there and goes
just like that. It's beautiful, but it's just so. If ever there's a weed, that is a weed, mate. That Xenia is a weed and a half, mate. It's a nightmare to get rid.
It was the first coral I ever bought, and I didn't know anything about corals. But I actually paid money for it, whereas a lot of people give it away. But it was a place in Great Portland Street, so just off Oxford Circus. It's not there anymore. And I used to go up there and used to look forward to going to that shop and into the basement. They had loads of tanks and loads of corals and everything else. And I bought a piece of Xenia. Why I paid money for it. But at the time, you don't know, do you? And you saw it. It was just it was like that. And got it back in the tank. It looked fantastic.
Yeah,
it's
a nice movie.
I was looking at one of those conductivity probes, and they're £244.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, I won't be buying one of them yet.
That's gone up a lot of money.
Yeah, not buying one of them, mate. Not at that price. Not yet, anyway. £244. I didn't think they were that day. I thought they were in line with like.
I thought it was about 80 to 100 quid, but I mean that might be.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I won't be buying one of them. Yeah,
that is a lot of dough, isn't it?
That's a lot of money. That. Yeah. I mean, granted, salinity is important in a reef tank for sure, but I'll stick to using my hand checker pen, mate. That's all right for the time being.
As long as you do that, as long as you calibrate it and use it and you use it on a regular basis.
You leave yours already in the water all the time. I've seen people do that. Or your hand pen.
Really?
Yeah, some people they'll just leave it in the sun.
Switches off.
No, they leave
switches
it on.
off.
Oh, no, but they power it up and then press it and leave it in the water all the time.
Why would you do that, though,
It'll go off.
I don't do that. I've just seen it on a video. I've seen it on some videos. Like it's probably a bad idea, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
They should. I don't think they should do that because the probes are. They're not. I don't think the probes are made to completely
to be in
submerge
water
all the time. I don't think they. That's why it always says on the book, that once you've tested it, you rinse it off. Make sure you rinse it off dry. So
really?
I don't think it'll last long. That, to be honest, but
I mean
that's what they want to do. They'll be buying another pen soon. You know what I mean? But no, I mean, like you said, really, £244. That's a lot of money.
That pence. What was that?
Was it 80 quid?
80 quid.
80 quid.
It's only double that, and you get a permanent one that's in there all the time.
2.5 times, isn't it?
What's that?
Like
2.5 times.
What's that?
The Hannah one's 80 odd quid. This is 200 odd quid, and that runs 24/7.
Yeah.
And the other ones you've got to buy a solution for. So I mean, it's still a lot of money. And don't get me wrong, but is it comparable? I don't know.
No, I don't. Yeah,
it's a lot of dough.
Yeah,
so
I thought
it was like to buy fish though.
If it was like 120 quid or something, 120, 130 quid, then all right, I bought that because it would have been in line with the the professional, the more upgraded pH probe. Is it the double one? The double what do they call it? For the Apex, the pH one. There's a normal pen.
There's a lab one.
There's a double one in there. Yeah, there's a pro one in there. The pro one is about 110, I think it is, or something like that. I thought they would have been in line with that, but obviously not.
You wouldn't expect, because quite often with all the probes, they've got an expiry date on them, haven't they? And they say you should replace them after that. If I'm buying a salinity one and I don't want an expiry date on it, because that's a lot of money for one probe, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so just a couple of comments.
Ross knows all about that sort of stuff, doesn't he?
He does, and I mean, he uses what he says that they won't last 5 minutes because he uses ones that are calibrating thousands, aren't they? And they need calibrating and then he's replacing. Because he's been he messaged, he's been in Ireland, hasn't he, this week, calibrating some of the stuff like
that. I have wound him up fully, haven't I, this week?
You have. I can't remember what you wound him up about. Oh, that was about it. It was about putting water in your whiskey because he wasn't happy about that, was he?
He says, I'm off to Ireland. What are you going to do? Learn how to make proper whiskey.
Proper whiskey,
And his head fell off. I thought he was going to come down the phone and rip my head off. He was fuming.
He wasn't overly infused, was he?
Yeah, no, he wasn't. He's quite passionate about his Scottish whiskey, and
he's passionate about a few things, that and social media.
Yeah, bless him. I do miss him. He needs to come back on again.
Yeah, he does.
Just to say hello for a night, that'll be good.
Yeah. See his friendly smile.
But just winding him up sometimes.
Oh, that as well, yeah.
Plus, I don't have to see him because he's bloody massive, so at least
he's a big old unit.
He is, yeah. Because he's not going to to reef either, is he?
No, he's going to a wedding that day.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah. Very good.
Right, so there we go. I'll have a Holy Grail and a free poly box.
A free, bloody hell!
He said another poly box.
Poly boxes, you are, buddy.
Yeah.
Once it's someone else asked me for the Holy Grail as well, but it won't be ready for a couple of months yet.
Yeah, you've got to rest it.
Yeah.
John's saying I can't keep Zoas or Xenia.
Wow.
What do you want?
Wow. Can't keep Zoas or Xenia. You know what though? It's like me. I can't keep Gonnies, mate. So I'm exactly the same as you. Some corals they just don't take to your tank, do they? You know what I mean? Some you just can't keep.
Yeah.
I struggle a bit with mushrooms, to be honest. I've had recordias and they've just melted away. So
mushrooms, freaking hell. They're all over the show in my tank, mate. I don't even know. You know when they start one, and then you go around the corner and then you see another one. You're like, how the hell has that got there? And then a few weeks later you'll see some over this side, and they must spawn or something, or they must and then they release, and then they once they or they just split, and then once they latch onto a piece of rock, they just grow there. I've got loads around on this side here on the tank, just there, literally what are they? What's it called? The Superman ones. No, the Superman. I've got loads of them there. Yeah, the the Superman ones. I've got some of them there.
They're nice.
Oh, mate, they're
yeah.
Oh, they're all over the show, mate. Yeah, they just spread. They just split and just latch onto anything they can get around.
More weeds, Steve. More weeds.
Steve,
mate.
Loads of weeds.
I need to. Yeah, Yeah, mad mate. I need to get a bigger tank.
Oh, here we go.
I thought you were getting a
bigger
frag
tank,
tank.
mate.
Oh, you're talking about a frag tank, weren't you?
So then you can trim me ones in there and put them in the frag tank.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
No, I need a tank. No, I need a frag tank. It's just like persuading the missus. Because we're going through this decoration. We're going through this decoration stage, mate. You know what I mean? It is that's what we're saving up for. So as you know, like a bedroom suite and all that is not cheap, is it? You know what I mean? Nowadays, you know what I mean? So you know, it's like so it's like I think it's quoted like 5,000 quid or something. You know what I mean for the bedroom, mate. So it's a lot of money. Yeah. So it's like a lot of money. So it's like 5,000 quid for a bedroom suite to keep the missus happy, yeah, or £800 for a frag tank to keep me happy. Which one's gonna win, mate? You know what I mean? In my house, certainly not the tank, is it? You know what I mean? Because I've already got one. That's what she says. So it's like, right, okay, then we'll have a bedroom suite then. We'll have a bedroom, yeah. We'll have a bedroom suite done in
the tank into the bedroom, or has that been knocked on the head?
No. She even said
is that still going on?
Let's not
she actually even said that, to be honest. She said, I think that'll look nice. I was like, oh.
We got outvoted on that. Did you remember that, Paul? We got outvoted on that, didn't we?
Yeah.
We'll figure that out, mate. We'll figure it out. I'm definitely having a tank in there, even if it's just a tiny nano or something, mate. It's going to be in there. Yeah. I love it, mate. If I could have one in every room. Yeah, if we could have one in the toilet, I'd have one. But can't, mate.
Spend enough time in there, like.
He would do, wouldn't he?
Well, he would do, yeah. Sit there and watch it.
Oh, mate. Be awesome.
They should be worried that you're going to flush that away, won't
they? There's a good comment here about a nemesis coral. Same in the planting world. Some things grow like weeds and others you just have a bit of a problem with.
Yeah.
And then you got about the HANA salinity tester connectivity probe with a display. Yeah, fair comment.
Yeah.
Needs calibrating regularly. Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
That's what I use. A refractometer, the Red Sea one I use. I've got to say, I just use RO each time I've used it just to get all the salinity out of it. That's what I do to calibrate. I've been using it for years.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't take long to do.
I've never used one of the old school ones, but they're supposed to be really good, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to use, and they last. You know, you've got to get any solution for it or batteries or anything like that. Just does what it says on the tin.
Hold up to the light.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Easiest to buy the frag tank and seek forgiveness after than to ask permission. Slippery slope, that one, Steve.
I don't know if that's good advice.
Steve, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, but you don't live with my missus. Trust me, mate. It'd take a hell of a long thing for forgiveness for everybody who came back with another tank. That's for sure. But yeah, I like that.
I like it for someone else.
I tell you one thing though. I don't know about that. I know it's completely changing the subject. Yeah,
go on.
But that BRS thing, I was gobsmacked with it, mate. I tell you what, I couldn't believe it. Right. You know the BRS chat with the guy from Worldwide Corals. That Ryan from BRS, he was saying, that they did a test. I think it was like on 6, six lakes or six things with water, with the water, to test. Because they were talking about RO units. That's what they were basically talking about, and whether everybody should have an RO unit and why is like 0 TDS is more important and this, that, and the other. Because somebody mentioned that they put like tap water. They used to use tap water in the thing and then did a chlorinator, that sort of stuff. Yeah, and this guy and that Ryan said that they did a test. Yeah, of pulled 6 different samples of water, right? And when they done an alkalinity test on it, the alkalinity come back to 20 DKH in the water. I couldn't believe it, mate. So they said that when they mixed the salt up with it, it went to 28 DKH, 30 DKH. Wow. And I was like, what? So alkalinity,
what was the water source? What was the source?
Yeah, just water sources. Check it out, mate. Go check it out. Yeah, I was like, what? And he went, and that is the reason. You're not just taking contaminants out of your water. When you do RO water,
you're puritating all the other stuff that.
You're taking everything out. So you're taking the alkalinity out of it. You're taking everything out of it, because because even he said he was gobsmacked, and he went, that's the reason why you use RODI water, because if you would have mixed the salt with that would have like his DKH would have been 28.
It just would have banged it out of the park, wouldn't it? Yeah,
mate. I was blown away with it. I didn't even know it contained the alkalinity in the water that high. You know, just normal without it being flushed out. I couldn't. I honestly, God,
well,
I
you
couldn't
do get
believe it. And I was
alkaline
watching.
water, don't you? Like in alkaline areas.
Yeah. But you want to watch it, mate. It was so interesting. It was one. I think it was an hour and a half or something.
There you go.
And I literally
tap water
an
was
hour.
20. So it was the tap water.
It was 20 DK. Yeah, tap water, 20 DKH. So you imagine you mixed your water, your salinity, your salt with that.
You do a big old change.
Like
10% is going to go up a little bit, but you do 30, 40, 50%.
Mate,
it's going to double.
Then you'll be like, why is it so high? What's going on here? That's the reason why, mate. I was just blown away with it. You're learning something new every day in this hobby. That's what you do.
How DKH's water hardness? That's interesting.
Yeah, Victor from Worldwide Corals. They were talking.
That's on my list of things to watch. Because whenever he's been on, he's done other ones before, hasn't he? He's done videos with Ryan before, and they've been really, really good.
Yeah, he knows his stuff in that lad, mate. I tell you, he definitely knows his gear.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the units they run and what they do, and just churn out the corals. They need to know their stuff, don't they? They need to be able to grow stuff quick, because that's just money for them, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting, that is.
It is, isn't it? I mean, let's face it. There's probably things in our waters that doesn't register anywhere. So the TDS don't take it, the filters don't take it out. It's a bit like what the skimmer pulls stuff out. And we say, well, you don't need a skimmer. There'll be things that the skimmer's pulling out that nothing that we test actually reads. That's contaminants and toxins and other stuff like that.
Yeah, true.
That we may not even know about. That hasn't been discovered yet. So little we probably know when you take everything in the round, and how things are just every year something new's coming out, and you're learning different things, and the methodology is changing and stuff like that. It's fascinating, isn't it? How the science changes.
Amazing how much how much the hobby's come on up to now in terms of the science and the technology. Where the hell is it going to be in another 10 years?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, but also how easy it is to keep corals now compared to 5 years ago, 10 years ago. The thing, I mean, if you go on an LFS, you think about all the different elements you can get, the different companies. I mean, when I was talking to Paul about it, about how do they cope with all it? There seems to be new products all the time. They have to carry that stock. They haven't got enough room on their shelves. So what ones do you stock and which ones you don't? Because if I go back 5 years, there was Red Sea and there was some others, weren't there? Now you think how many more, Coral Essentials, and you've got Reef Elements, and that's just two off the top of my head. Reef Factory, that's just three. And there's tons of them now that was not around 5 years ago.
True. Yeah, exactly. When I started, when I first started out,
AAC, it's like a chemist when you go. There's like that shelving of bottles.
Yeah, and there's loads of shops that are like it. H2O Aquatics is another one I go in, and they've just got you go in there as a beginner. Where'd you start?
It's bottle after bottle.
And all the bacteria you can get now.
Yeah,
there's loads of those. There's and you look at it and think,
baffling.
How many of those companies will still be around in 5 years? Is the hobby big enough to be able to sustain all of those different companies selling the same thing? I'm not sure. I don't know.
No. I agree, mate. Yeah, totally agree. I mean, there's got to be a market out there, aren't there? There's got to be a market out there.
There must be, as it shrink, won't it?
Be in it. It'd shrink for sure. So yeah, for sure. There's definitely a market, but like you said, it's like how long can it sustain? You know what I mean? How long will it sustain for? You know what I mean? With all these products, different products coming out, different companies, like you said, bringing out more products, new products. You know what I mean? There's got to be a market, like you said.
Yeah. But even existing ones, Reef Factory now do the alkalinity, calcium, magnesium.
Yeah.
Well, Red Sea do it. There's not a brand new market that are going to buy those. That you're going to switch from something else, aren't you?
Yeah, but it's like Elos in it. But they was making things that they were making tanks and all that. Then they brought out all their stuff. So Elos has got their stuff. Yeah. Then you've got the Nios. Nios have brought their test kits out and stuff. So Nios were all for equipment, weren't they? They was equipment. Now they've gone into, like you said, the testing side of it. So it's like, I mean, they've been out a while now, haven't they? But like you said, they wasn't out when they weren't even out when I started 5 years ago. Really, the only ones it was the only ones that really was API, Salifert, API, Red Sea, which was obviously I've got all the Red Sea gear. All the test kits were all Red Sea.
A lot of people do, don't you? So you get the box when you got the 3-in-1.
That's it. Yeah, the boxes. That's what I got. Yeah, and yeah, really, to be honest, that was the only ones really that were
most popular
on the
ones, weren't they?
the main shelf. Yeah, the most popular. Yeah.
No, there's tons. But there we go. Right,
Yeah.
we are out of time as per usual. Probably could have gone on for a lot longer as per usual. But
it was gone quick, I think, tonight.
Yes. Yeah, it was the poly boxes. We spent so much time on poly boxes and sample pots.
Riveting.
What can you say? I mean, what did you watch? I watched some poly boxes last night and some sample pots
on Friday night.
It's cutting edge technology, that, isn't it?
I don't know. We'll give them a break next Friday.
We will. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you two guys Saturday week, and also for quite a few people in the chat as well. We'll see you Saturday week. Wish us all luck, or wish me luck.
Yeah,
loads to do.
Yeah, good luck. We'll see you there on the day.
You'll smash it. You'll smash it, Paul.
10:30.
10:30. Okay.
Yeah, 10:30 to 3 o'clock. But there we go.
I honestly cannot wait.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you all for joining.
See you all there, guys.
See you 2
Take
weeks
care.
today.
See you soon.
All the best. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Cheers.
Have a good one.